Do you think you will get a mirror drop this new league? I don't think so. I'll never get a mirror drop, bro. Are we live though? We got disconnected. Are we good? We got disconnected. Hello? YouTube is good. We got disconnected when I said Israel. That was fucking weird. Are we gonna disconnect it again? Yeah, I was saying the funny shit when Israeli army stops me on the road and they get my ID and they see like Tunisia. I was telling you that, and they see like I was born in Tunisia. They will be like what the fuck are you doing in this country? And I was like, me? Yeah, okay, sure, sure. It's me. What the fuck is me doing here? That's true. There will be always like, what the fuck are you doing here, Tunisia? Go back to your country. I was like, yeah, sure. Yeah, bro, I don't know. And that guy, I remember that guy specifically who asked me. He was from Brooklyn, if you imagine. And I said to him, "You're from Brooklyn? What the fuck?" I asked him, "Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from Brooklyn." And I was like, "What the fuck you are doing here, though?" I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" Luckily, he was friendly, or else I would get stormed on the head if I ask that question for someone. Nowadays, it was like way back, maybe how many years? Maybe 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. Nowadays, if you open your mouth, you're gonna get killed. If you breathe, you're gonna get fucking beaten. Nowadays, you don't say shit. It's a fucked up world. It is a fucked up world. Dun-dun-dun. 21 minutes. Also, we got disconnected exactly when we had 4 viewers. I mean, come on, bro. We are begging for viewers at the moment. Middle East and North Africa leaders are traitors? I don't know, bro. If you want to continue watch the stream, I can't say shit about this. Or else I will be streaming from another world. And I don't want to be streaming from another world at the moment. Let's stick to normal streaming.
Move quickly. It's gaining strength.
I'm starting to get the hang of this place.
That was an impressive display. Greetings. Always onward, always onwards. You wills, always onwards.
Please, onwards.
Good riddance. Relish your mortality.
Storming arrow! Barely broke a sweat.
A great challenge overcome. I would give anything for a sip.
I hope Sekhemas get buffed. I hope so. I don't think so though. They nerfed it. I don't think they're gonna buff it.
Onwards. Always. The choice is always onward. Onward. The choice.
Hopefully they're gonna do like something different. People said we're gonna have a different kind of trials, the ancestor thingy. $16 minutes. But I hope we get some good shit. We will see, we will see. 60 minutes, come on.
A great challenge overcome.
Fury! Barely broke a sweat.
In the chat again.
That was close.
Not even close, Baba. Not even close. You're just being dramatic.
Nowhere to run.
Nowhere to run.
I would give anything for a sip. The ritual has been disrupted. I shall aid you. The choice? Fight with intent.
14? What do you mean 14? It was. I checked that like 6 minutes ago.
Beware
It
the
was
scorching
16
skin.
6 minutes ago.
This was the end of the trial in my time. But I sense another being resides here. Let's plan.
Traps
Oh
are
yes,
slower,
go
and we
west.
take
Onward,
this.
onwards.
The next minor blur you gain it's. Who's in the chat again?
What Maru has
Fury!
here? You will suffer the same fate as the winter Sekhema.
Impressive endurance. I would give anything for a sip.
13 minutes. That shit is slow as fuck. Do you have now 528 divs? Yes. $528 divs that I don't need.
An easy trophy.
Who's in the chat again?
A great challenge overcome. Greetings. You will succeed. Go with strength.
They will go to standard league along. I know, but like, who the fuck goes to standard league? Like, do you
Storming
like?
arrow.
Do you even go back to standard league? I don't know. No man, yeah, it's basically fucking useless. You will only go back when you are like 60 years old. You bring your son, son, look at this character. I had 500 divs back in the day.
That was close.
That's the only way that you will open your fucking standard league. I don't think you're gonna open that league anywhere else.
Time works against you, but I am its master.
It's 500 divs, son. 500 divs were hard as fuck to get. People used to watch me doing that. I was a fucking legend.
Stunt. Let's plan. You will succeed. Go with you will succeed. Go with a wise choice.
You have no evasion? Oh yeah, fuck. We can't get that though. 9 minutes. You have more, but you gamble it with small fish? Bro, if we didn't gamble, I would say we would have almost 2k now. At least 2k divs. Where is Smallfish, by the way? Smallfish is. If he didn't come to watch with us, he's banned. Because yesterday he said, nice, you're gonna be live, nice. Okay, see you tomorrow. If he didn't come, he will be banned next stream. I'm pretty sure he's gonna go watch his streamer friend Ron Array. And he will ditch us again.
A great challenge overcome. Beauty.
I have seen how this ends, Taljari. Your time has come.
You won't get the better of me.
This is not the future I had foreseen.
Extra cold and dexterity. Okay, 7 minutes. We can talk, right, for 7 minutes. 7 minutes is not that bad. Hopefully we don't get disconnected when it's like 50 seconds away. We good, yeah, we good. We good, okay. Chat like this. Who's in the chat again? My biggest concern is they will leave the current mapping system as it is. Okay, we're losing viewers. Why? Come on, guys. It's you and me again. I don't want the mapping system to be the same again. You time warped? That's good. That's good, Mr. Goop. Yeah, it's 5 minutes. 5 minutes, yeah. I really don't want the mapping to be the same. Mapping is really, really shitty at the moment. Like really, really shitty. But like if we get I told you I was gonna time warp last line and you did it? Yeah, you did. You did, you did. Okay, let's do it this way. If they don't change that shit, is gonna be. Sure, they're nerfing group farming. I mean, I don't think they should nerf group farming, but they should buff solo farming. Like, they should buff solo farming. We don't want you to nerf shit. You're a group farmer 6-man type of guy, so I hope they don't. Well. We had people like you, Mr. Goop, that used to come and used to say, how much do you get in Sekhemas? And I was like, okay, we got like in like couple of days 200 divs, and they will be like, okay, I get this mapping, and I was like, no, you don't. You can't get 200 divs from mapping like in 1 day or 2 days. No, I get like 10 divs per map, easy. No, you don't. Yes, I do. And at the end, he will be like, yeah, but we do it like 6 people farming. I was like, okay, you're banned. They were leading with like mapping is good as solo players, but at the end they would like, no, we are a 6-man party, and we would get a lot of shit. Even 6-man, I hope they get rid of rarity on gears. I mean, the lower, the less mods that we need on gear, the better. Because we lose some shit. If we get rid of rarity, but I don't think. You can get almost guaranteed 1 dink per map, but not 10 div plus map, only when lucky. Yeah, maybe. Who's in the chat again? Yeah, but you get omens. I mean, you get a lot of shit. Eventually, I think 10 plus divs is kinda normal, but like not as raw divs, but like total value, let's say, for 6-man party. I'm pretty sure you're not playing 6-man party to get 1 div per map. Okay, guys, 50 seconds. Oh shit. Let's go. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Come on, show us what. Show us. Show us. 15, 14, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2, and welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal for what's coming next for Path of Exile 2. Twitch drops are enabled on today's livestream, so you'll be able to claim your Verdant Wilds dodge roll effect by following the instructions below. Now today, it's finally time to show off a new class that we know everyone in the community's been waiting for. So let's roll the trailer for Path of Exile 2, The Last of the Druids.
Ah, this guy's naked. What? He's butt naked.
Well, well. What have we got here then?
You lost, fella?
Hey, we're talking to you.
I asked you a question.
Oh. Okay. Might be too loud.
What's wrong with him?
He's lost his bloody mind.
He lost his bloody mind. Oh shit, this is cool. This is cool. The last of the druids.
I will find you, Eve.
Okay, next.
Now as you can see, the Druid is a shape-shifting elemental spellcaster. After his fellow Druids were destroyed by the King in the Mists, the Druid lost his humanity in the forests of Ogham, where he wandered for years as a beast. Now, finally reawakened, he's determined to find his lost wife and regain his humanity. The Druid has been one of the hardest classes for us to design. As well as having human spells, he has 3 animal forms, and we wanted to make sure that there were interesting combos between all of them. The Druid is our first hybrid strength and intelligence class. That means he needs to have the ability to use spells and attacks. As a human, the Druid typically uses magical staves to harness the powers of the earth and the natural world. One of the first skills you will learn is the ability to create small volcanoes from the earth. This skill spits out balls of magma at your enemies, and will continue to do so for some time. While the volcano is active, turn into an animal and wade into melee range. Many of the skills you use as a human last for a significant period of time, giving you a good chance to turn into an animal and rage out. But how do you turn into an animal, you may ask? Well, the answer is a new weapon type that Druids use, animal talismans. When you equip an animal talisman, you can choose which animal form you would like the talisman to represent. Depending on what you choose, you'll be given that animal's basic attack as a new skill to equip. For a bear, that's Maul. To turn into a bear, simply use the skill. Your character will instantly transform into a bear and attack. If you want to change back to a human, just cast a spell. You will instantly swap back and cast it. We wanted to make sure that swapping between forms was seamless and immediate. Changing forms should be something that you do without even thinking about it all the time in battle. In order to allow for hybrid melee and caster gameplay, most of the skills you use in your human form last for some time and aid your animal skills in some way.
Okay.
The volcano we used earlier will emit more molten balls whenever you hit it with a slam, making it perfect for use with your bear form's Furious Slam. While in bear form, many of your abilities use rage. There are a lot of ways to generate rage, but the easiest one is simply smash your enemies with Maul.
This is cool, but this is
Once you
slow
see
as
the runes on
fuck.
your back glowing, it means you have enough rage to do a much more devastating version of your Furious Slam. Your bear form can also go on a rampage, stomping the ground as you demolish your foes. The more rage you have, the longer the rampage lasts, and doing it over a volcano makes it even better. As you consume rage, your bear form will generate endurance charges, and these can be used with skills like Ferocious Roar. Ferocious Roar is a war cry that empowers your subsequent attacks to break your opponent's armor. The more endurance charges you have when you use it, the more empowered attacks you will gain. But Ferocious Roar has another special feature too. It's a meta gem that allows you to socket any Warcry gem from another class into it, giving you the ability to use these skills as a bear. Use the Warrior's Infernal Cry skill to make your enemies explode.
Like the movement is slow. Ori. It looks like a lot of damage.
Stun your enemies and double up the number of slams you do. You can even use it with Ancestral Call, a skill that turns you into the fire god Cow. Ever wondered what the Karui god of war would look like if he was a bear? Well, wait no longer.
I think they're gonna find a way
build up
to
enough rage
continuously.
to use one of the bear's ultimate abilities, Walking Calamity. This skill summons a storm of fire around you for some time, while generating even more rage to power your other abilities. A true bear apocalypse. Now the bear is known for being a slower and more lumbering animal, with slower attacks and heavy slams. But what if you want to turn into something a little more nimble? Well, let's check out the second animal form for the druid, wolf form. For the wolf form, we wanted to go fast and furious. Even just the wolf's basic attack will leap forward and rake his foes. After attacking, the wolf stands up on two legs, but after running for a short time, he goes back on all fours, allowing to move more quickly between packs of enemies.
Okay, this is good.
The wolf has a lot of cold attacks based on his association with the moon, and the first of these is Lunar Assault. It's great for freezing your enemies in place. After they're frozen, use your basic rake attack to knock shards
Yeah,
of
the
ice
wolf
off
is
your enemies,
fast.
which land on the ground nearby and explode. If you want to get into battle quickly, you can use your pounce attack.
If
This
we
skill
played
leaps to a
druid,
target and applies a mark to them.
I would choose
Killing the
wolf.
marked enemy will summon a wolfman into your side, allowing them to fight with you. Mark and kill as many enemies as you can to build up a sizable pack. While an enemy is marked, your wolves will prioritize that target and do more damage the more wolves you have. So make sure you keep your pack
Like
strong.
Warwick, yeah, it's like Warwick.
Now, one problem you might run into is your wolf pack dying in boss fights. You often don't have any enemies that you can mark and kill in order to regenerate your pack. To deal with this problem, you can use Cross Slash. Cross Slash jumps backwards and does a vicious double slash. Any marks on your target explode and triggers their abilities. This allows you to pounce to mark an enemy and then summon a wolf even without killing it. Cross Slash also has another feature though. Remember those ice fragments from before? Well, Cross Slash will propel any ice shards on the ground towards its central target. First, freeze your enemies with Lunar Assault. Then rake them to create as many ice fragments as you can. Then follow up with Cross Slash to generate a field of icy explosions to obliterate your enemies. If they're still alive after that, your pack of wolves can finish them off. Just like with the bear's raw skill earlier that allows you to use skills from other classes, Pounce is also a meta gem that you can socket mark skills from other classes into. So for example, you might want to try adding Freezing Mark from the Monk to Pounce. After pouncing at an enemy, Cross Slash to explode the mark and gain extra cold damage for a time. The wolf has many other ways to go all in on cold though. Using the Arctic Howl Warcry will allow you to add cold damage and chilled ground to any slam, while buffing your pack of wolves as well. You can also use it to freeze enemies that are close to being frozen, making it much faster to use your other combos. Finally, the wolf also has the ability to call down the power of the moon to transform into an Arctic werewolf with Lunar Blessing. In this form, you move and attack more quickly and deal extra cold damage. Consuming Rage will extend the duration of your Arctic wolf form, so you could try a hybrid bear and wolf build if you want to utilize the skill to its full effect. Alright, let's talk about the third form available to the druid, and I think it's a cool one, the Wyvern. The Wyvern has a number of long-range breath abilities. but that doesn't mean you can't get into melee range when you want to. The basic attack of the Wyvern is Rend. Jump forward into combat and slash your enemies with your lethal talons. If they're close to being stunned, you can blow them off balance with a blast from your wings, causing an explosion of damage. After the battle though, it's time to feed. Devour the corpses of monsters to create power charges, and this is when the Wyvern's abilities really come online. When using Rend, you can consume a power charge to charge up your wings with lightning. Not only does this do a bunch of damage, but it allows you to turn this melee skill into a much larger AoE attack. Once your wings are charged, your Wing Blast will also do lightning explosions for even more damage. If your enemies are close to death, no need to wait for them to actually die. When you see this blue marker, just devour them alive. Fresh meat is much tastier after all. Alright, so those are some melee options, but how about range? Well, you wouldn't be much of a dragon if you couldn't breathe fire after all. Rolling Magma is the first of the Wyvern's breath attacks. Spit balls of fire that bounce along the ground. These balls will trigger volcanoes as well, so it's a
Bro,
good idea
this
to cast
effect-
one as a human right before you
We're
start
gonna need a 4090 for this, or a 5090 graphics card.
But
Shit.
that's not all you can spit. You have something a little nastier in that gullet of yours. Spitting a barrage of oil at your enemies will cover them in a viscous sludge that makes them easier to ignite. If you have power charges though, plant your wings in the ground and vomit a barrage of lightning
Did I,
and fuse projectiles. The more
This
power
looks
charges
cool,
you have,
but
the longer
I don't
you
know.
can do
Maybe
this.
maybe the
Ensure you
wolf
keep your foes at
is.
range. You're vulnerable to melee attacks while
Ooh.
channeling this skill.
I don't
In
know,
order to
bro.
help with that,
There's
let's
a
take
lot
rough
of
diversion back to
options.
some of your human abilities.
A lot of
As a druid of
options.
Scoth, you have the ability to harness the power of nature to create entangling vines to slow down your enemies. Another of nature's punishments is the thunderstorm. Creating one of these will create periodic strikes of lightning from the sky, and will also make your enemies wet. Why is that useful? Well, of course, things that are wet are easier to shock. Use it with lightning damage from your wyvern form to enhance your damage. Making things wet also makes them easier to freeze, so it works nicely with your wolf form as well. And you know what else likes water? Plants. Water your plants to give them various extra abilities.
Holy shit,
Use
there's a
lightning
lot
to
of
entangle
new
them
shit.
and last
A
longer,
lot of new
and
shit.
attach more vines to each enemy, slowing them further. Summon thrashing vines to slam at your enemies for a time. Any that are created in water will be larger and deal more damage. Now then, with our enemies sufficiently subdued with our plants, time to really lay into them with our lightning-infused barrage. Now, this last wyvern ability is just ridiculous, but we felt like we had to do it. Use Flame Breath to take to the skies and rain down a stream of fire on your enemies. You have wings, so we have to take full advantage of them after all. So fly around and burn in it.
Holy bro. That's cool as fuck, but
Now there are a few other skills we didn't cover, but there's one in particular that I think will open up a lot of builds. Spell Totems. Spell Totems are meta gems that let you create a totem that will automatically cast any spell in the game for a time. In order to create one, you will need to spend 3 endurance or 3 power charges. You could use them to throw fireballs, summon comets, or shower the area in lightning. Really, the options are kind of endless. Your bear form can easily generate endurance charges by consuming rage, and your wyvern form can easily create power charges by eating corpses. So it's pretty easy for the druid to get the charges needed, but they're also available from quite a few other places as well. I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of different spellcaster classes thinking about how best to take advantage of these. Now of course, along with a new class comes a bunch of new support gems. We've added over 30 new supports throughout the game, but I'll show you a few of the cooler ones here. Fan the Flames can be added to any wind skill to spread fire from one ignited enemy to the other enemies behind them. It's great for the Wyvern's Wing Blast. But you can also use it on many other classes with wind skills, like the Twisters on the Huntress, or the Monk's Staggering Palm Projectiles.
ooh.
Accelerated growth causes extra explosive plants to erupt from the ground whenever you grow plants with rain. And Advancing Storm changes storm skills like your Thunderstorm or Tornado to move across the battlefield. It's great for watering plants en masse, or to turn tornadoes into a real disaster by sucking up multiple ground effects as they travel along.
Bro, that definitely needs a fucking
Sorcerer's Weapon
4090
to use with 5
graphics
spells
card.
well. Echoing Cry causes your Warcry skills to echo. They will repeat a couple more times with a delay after you use them, giving you more empowered attacks. Use it for the druid's animal form war cries,
Shit.
or on the warrior for a nice power boost.
Yeah.
Grounding shocks causes monsters you shock to turn into living Tesla coils, arcing lightning to nearby enemies. You could use it with your empowered wings for an extra damage boost, but it's also great with any other shocking skill. Try it out with Lightning Spear. It obviously needed more AoE clear.
Oh boy.
There's a whole
Lightning Spear, you said? Okay. I'm down. Lightning Spear Roa,
Now,
boys.
the new class comes new Ascendancy classes. The Druid will have 2 options for now, with a third being released later. The first class is the Shaman. The Shaman channels nature's elemental fury and can harness rage as a spellcaster, unifying his animalistic and magical tendencies. By allocating Druidic Champion, you gain spell damage the angrier you are, and with Furious Wellspring, you generate rage continuously and can spend it to empower your spells. With the knowledge of the Asmerian Magi, the Shaman can harness untapped power from runes and idols. After allocating Wisdom of the Magi, you will notice that all runes and idols have extra mods only available to the Shaman. These new mods unlock countless new possibilities for enhancing your build. You can also allocate Bringer of the Apocalypse, allowing you to become a walking natural disaster. After dealing enough elemental damage, storms of all elements rain around you, destroying all who would face nature's fury. There are other
Bro,
abilities
this
for
shit
the
is
Shaman,
cool,
I'll
but
just show a few from each class for now.
honestly, if they didn't
Other
fix
Druid
the
tendency is
performance
Oracle.
issues, is a no-go.
The Oracle perfected the power of foresight and utilizes this in combat to gain massive advantage. When taking Fateful Vision, you will see visions of your future self using specific skills. If you decide to follow this path by using the skill yourself, it will do significantly more damage. And with Converging Paths, at a critical moment in battle when a monster is vulnerable to freeze, stun, or electrocution, the Oracle can use Moment of Vulnerability to see a vision of the enemy's future, and then merge it with the current timeline, allowing him to deal damage to both.
What the fuck?
And one of my favorites, when you first become an Oracle, you'll notice over 130 new extra passives appear in the Druid section of the tree. By allocating the Unseen Path, you use your power
130.
of foresight to learn from alternate futures and gain skills that would otherwise be unavailable to you. For example, self-sacrificing allows you to be able to summon more minions by reducing the spirit costs, with the trade-off of making your reservation skills cost more spirit. Or
Okay.
Corruption Endures, which allows oracles to have a small chance to avoid death. Both the Druid Ascendancies offer interesting and unique ways to gain modifiers that no other classes can get, so we're expecting a huge variety of build possibilities from these. Now there are unique talismans for the Druid to use as well. We won't spoil all of them, but this one was particularly cool. Fury of the King turns your bear form into a fire demon, converting most of your damage to fire. As a demon, you can also use Molten Crash, a jumping slam attack that leaves fissures around you. This unique also continuously grants glory, allowing you to use your ultimate abilities more easily.
Shit, this shit
Now,
is
of course,
cool.
the Druid isn't the only thing we're adding to 040. We still have a bunch more to show. With every new release, we create a new league with new mechanics, new pinnacle bosses, and with a new story to tell. And this time is no exception. So let's roll the trailer for the Fate of the Vaal.
Oh, let's go.
The palace of Queen Atziri. It is a ruin, but in the dark, machines still churn. The temple has many functions, and with it, chance to
Ooh,
save
what's
the
this?
a gateway through time. Travel into the past again and again. Alter the temple. Uncover its secrets.
That looks
Be
interesting.
rewarded for your sacrifice.
What the fuck?
And somewhere in the deepest chamber, my queen awaits. I beg of you, hear me. The beast cannot give you what you desire.
You may have studied it, Doriani, but you do not know it like I do.
Boobas.
Adores me.
No, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
Come now. Give unto
GGG
me
is
your
gonna...
desire. At last, fulfill my soul.
What the fuck? A lot of bots this announcement. A lot of fucking bots on this announcement.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. In the Fate of the Vaal League, you will find remnants of the ancient Vaal civilization scattered throughout Rayclast. They seem to attract nearby creatures and affect them strangely. After killing them, the remnant appears to gain some amount of power, but not enough to fully activate it. It seems you will need to find 5 more of these arcane devices, and sacrifice the monsters you find there to fully activate one. But things don't always go to plan. These devices are old, and sometimes infected by corruption. Twisted versions of ancient Vaal may emerge, and sometimes even stronger foes. On fully activating one of the devices, you finally discover its true purpose. A portal opens and takes you deep underground to a lost temple, once the home of Atziri, Queen of the Vaal. What treasures could still be inside? I think you're gonna want to find out. In front of the entrance is a console of some kind, and on activating it, you can see a map of the temple. Atziri's personal chambers are on the far side, but how could anyone get there? There are disconnected rooms, and the layout doesn't seem to make sense. And that's when you realize the purpose of the ancient devices scattered through Rayclast. The temple is powered by sacrifice, and this energy can be used to modify the very structure of the temple itself. Each time you run the temple, you will be given 6 rooms that you can place, allowing you to craft your own dungeon to explore. Place paths to link up the dungeon, and place rooms beside them full of precious loot. After you are happy with your choices, open the temple and discover the results of your efforts. Each room contains different challenges along with its rewards. On entering a room, the doors will slam shut behind you and you will need to face the encounter within. But choose wisely. It's important where you place the rooms to get maximum returns. For example, when placing a commander, you could just place it anywhere along an existing path, but a much better strategy is to place it next to a garrison of troops for him to command.
Okay.
With better leadership, the garrison will level up, making the monsters harder, but also more rewarding.
Yeah, the more rewarding scam from GGG.
For example, if you want to fully level up a smithy, you will need to supply it with golems from an adjacent golem works, and hook up a generator to the power network to supply it with power. After doing so, the golems will be powered up, making them much more dangerous. You don't need to memorize what interacts with what. When selecting a room, you will be shown the locations that will make other rooms level up, and exactly what effect it will have on the temple. After
15% increased monster backs.
And be removed. It will be up to you to rebuild the temple, adding 6 more rooms each time you come back, making the temple larger and larger and larger. So that's the basic functionality of the temple, but there is a lot more. Once Doriani finds out about your travels to Lera Vaal, he will attempt to persuade you to take on a new mission. The temple entrance contains a prototype of the time portal device. It will be able to take you back in time, but only to one specific point, right before Atziri triggered the cataclysm that destroyed the Vaal. He requests that you go back and attempt to stop Atziri to prevent the Vaal from ever being destroyed. Atziri is on the far side of the temple, so you will need to expand the temple significantly to get to her. And even worse, her chambers can only be unlocked by a room that isn't currently accessible to you. In order to deal with that, you are going to need to visit the architect of the temple. To get to him, you will need to place path rooms, but while doing so, you will probably want to exploit some of the Vaal technology only available in the past. Once you can travel into the past, a whole new set of rooms are available to you, and they have some pretty insane rewards. At level 1, the corruption chamber can be used to corrupt a single item.
That's insane! Corrupt an item, holy!
Next to a thaumaturge to run the place, and a sacrificial chamber to provide soul energy, you'll be able to level it up. And it's worth it. Because once you get the room to level 3, there are some very nice rewards to be had. In a level
What's
3
the rewards,
corruption chamber,
bitch?
You will find this mysterious device.
It's
It has
gonna
a slot
double
to place an
it.
item, and it only accepts items that are already corrupted.
Ooh.
What will happen to them? Well, normally once an item is corrupted, you can't modify it any further. But this device allows you to corrupt your item a second time, adding another enchantment. This has the
Ooh.
capability to craft some very powerful items indeed.
They're
But
very
be warned,
shitty.
The Vaal are all about taking risks in the pursuit of power. There is a 50% chance that the item will be destroyed.
Yeah, sure, bro. Double gamba. More gamba.
Each room has its own interesting mechanics and rewards when it levels up. Many of them contain bosses to fight, special drops,
No, it's not
and
special.
in many cases, new crafting opportunities. For example, a level 3 alchemy lab has a nasty Vaal construct to fight, but if you can defeat it, you can find new corrupted soul cores. Like Guatalitzi's thesis, which on boots allows you to sacrifice your life to run faster. Or Sita Qualotl's thesis, which on gloves will revive one of your minions whenever an offering expires.
Okay.
Get a sacrificial chamber to level 3, and you will need to face a highborn priest of sacrifice. Defeat him to be able to further corrupt a Vaal unique, modifying it in unpredictable ways. One of the mods of this unique will be removed and replaced with another random mod.
Regenerate.
This soul mantle. It gives you an additional totem, but lowers your totem's life and curses you when they die. By using the machine, this could result in a terrible item if you remove the good mod, but also some amazing items if you replace the downside. Now, one extra thing to mention about these Vaal crafting machines. You don't have to take the items you want to craft into the temple. If you don't have the item you want to craft with you at the time, then clicking this button will allow you to create a currency item instead, allowing you to do the craft later or trade it if you want. Now there
Okay,
are all
so
sorts of
people are
interesting
gonna
rooms you
farm
can
this
find in
shit.
the temple. But the last one I want to show you today is the Flesh Surgeon. A Vaal Flesh Surgeon.
So you can
leveled up by
semi-customize
placing it next to a
uniques,
high-level
semi-gamba
Sith
uniques now. I think everyone's gonna farm the currency for this
But be
shit.
careful. The Flesh Surgeon has some rather unpleasant experiments in his personal
What the
life.
fuck, how many boobas does he have?
Afterwards, you might notice the surgery table just sitting there. The Vaal are great at crafting items. Why not do some crafting on yourself? After laying down, you'll be asked which limb you'd like to replace. Left arm, perhaps your right leg. Each limb can get a different set of random bonuses, so choose
Okay.
wisely. After getting up from the table, try out your new limb. It seems to work fine, and even perform better than your normal one. Now, there is just one thing with replacing body parts. If you die and are resurrected, your body will return to its natural state. You might need to return to the Vaal Surgeons if you want another robot arm, and maybe get a better one next time.
What the fuck, yeah.
Some rooms
But like, it's a cool thing you
give you
do.
a new type of reward. Medallions that can be used to manipulate the temple in other ways.
Okay.
Using a Queeperlatal's medallion will allow you to artificially boost a room, even if it doesn't meet the normal requirements to level up. And a Huatalotli's medallion will stop rooms from destabilizing when you complete a temple, allowing you to guarantee getting a reward a second time. Great if you want to stock up on double corrupts. Now, with all that aside, time to face the Architect, and you will be in for a fight. Once defeated, you will find another console that can be used to modify the temple. But this one is special. It allows you to place new types of rooms with specific rewards. There are rooms with specific uniques, special runes, and currency.
Where's the
But
fucking
also a few
currency?
other, more niche
He
crafting
said, and
experiences.
currency, I didn't see divs.
Like this one, that can extract the soccer balls back out of an item, at the cost of destroying it.
Ooh. That's
Now,
not bad.
Something really important is every league we release a significant amount of content for the in-game. In order to make sure that the Fate of the Veil works well for late-game players, we've added many mechanics to make sure that you can scale the difficulty and rewards to match.
Okay, yeah, see me.
Getting
Show
some
me.
rooms to level 3 adds extra mods to the entire dungeon, and these stack with each other. So in
Ooh,
endgame,
they
when you
stack,
can get
holy.
some really big temples, you can generate a challenge that can even match the strongest of characters. We
Experience.
also start to introduce ways to store up energy for the temple, allowing you to save up many runs so you can do them later at your leisure, and not interrupt your mapping too often. Now in each league, it's important that we have a new
So
pinnacle
it's about
boss
to rise
test
in
your
value
character's
again,
might.
yeah.
In the Fate of the Vaal, you will get to face Adziri while she was at the peak of her power. One of the rewards you will gain by defeating the Architect is the ability to place the Royal Access Chamber. Once connected to your temple, you can visit it to finally reach the Queen of the Vaal herself. This fight takes place at a critical moment in history, right as Adziri communes with the beast's power.
Poor
and takes her
boobas, what
true
the fuck?
corrupted form. Now, we are not going to show you the whole fight, but we will tempt you with one of the rewards. This is Adziri's rule. This staff gives additional levels to all of your corrupted gems and lets you trade life for extra damage. But in addition to that, while using the staff, mirrors of refraction will constantly appear on the battlefield. Any projectile you fire at these will split into a nova, and they can chain from one to the other. So, that's the Fate of the Vaal League. But we are also bringing the previous league, Rise of the Abyssal, into the core game, along with a few changes. Now,
Show
for those
me.
of you who haven't seen what happens when a league is over, it's important to understand that you will not be seeing abysses in every area anymore. Rise of the Abyssal is now one of the league mechanics that can show up randomly in endgame. If you want to
Okay.
specialize in running abysses, there is now a tablet that will allow you to add them to any map you run. You can also craft the tablet to add abyss-specific mods to
Oh,
enhance
this
how they
shit
function.
again.
Now that Abyss is core, it also needs its own Atlas tree.
No, we have the same Atlas tree.
An Abyss. But there are more available for doing depths and killing certain bosses. And there are a bunch of different options. You might just want more monsters and bosses. But you can also make finishing an Abyss have a chance to overrun a nearby map with the Abyssal. Or make your Waystone modifiers also apply to Abyssal depths. You could specialize in the interaction with other leagues, or specialize in a specific Abyssal faction. One of the important elements that we have heard loud and clear is that needing to do Abyss crafting on Waystones is quite annoying. So, we have removed that. In fact, we have removed instilling from Waystones as well. This mechanic felt mandatory on maps because it boosted the value of all other content, but it was both annoying to do and resulted in a lot of visual clutter.
Okay, so what do you have
Instead,
now?
We are bringing back some of that power on tablets, which you don't need to craft nearly as often, since they last for 10 maps each. Once you defeat the Arbiter of Ash, you will be able to upgrade tablets to a rare with 4 mods using regular currency.
No, bro.
Even this isn't enough to fully bring back the power you could have gotten from
I mean,
instilling,
that's not.
so we have also buffed the bonuses that tablets give. Going forward, we're not going to be adding any more crafting directly to Waystones outside of the basic currency, because it adds too much micromanagement. But on
That's
that note,
good, but
Fate of the Val does bring the ability to corrupt your tablets, hoping to get one of many different random outcomes. Now, with regard to Delirium Fog, even though you shouldn't have to have it on every map anymore, we still did want to make it less visually annoying. Delirium Fog has been toned down significantly, so you won't feel like you're just playing in a sea of grey.
this is good.
Another big source of problems in the endgame is the feeling of getting overwhelmed with monsters. In 031, we reduced the number of monsters in early endgame in order to help with this, but still scaled up the number of monsters to previous levels by the time you got to tier 15. Well, after letting this simmer for a while, we are still getting this kind of feedback. So we are no longer going to scale up the number of monsters you go as you get deeper into the endgame. Instead, we are scaling up the difficulty and rewards by the same amount. So to be clear, instead of increasing the number of monsters by 40%, they will instead drop 40% more items, grant 40% more experience, and have 40% more life, in addition to all the normal scaling they get due to being higher level. This only applies to regular monsters, not bosses. We have also reduced the
The
speed
fog boss
modifiers
shit
that
is.
monsters can get sometimes, which also helps a lot with this. Now, we did have a large amount of content for endgame planned for 040, but unfortunately we just didn't get time to finish it. The
What the
scope was
fuck?
a bit too large, and so we'll need to wait until 050 for that. But rest assured, there will be a ton of
These
upgrades to
bitches.
existing leagues, as well as new pinnacle bosses, and a significant overhaul to the Atlas passive tree coming soon. Now,
Soon?
another
What do you
point
mean
that becomes a
soon?
much bigger issue in the endgame is game performance, and we have done a lot of work here. The primary
Okay.
issue is CPU load, and to address that, a lot of things have been optimized, and we have done a lot of work to take advantage of more of your CPU cores.
Hopefully.
You should see frame rates of at least 25% higher, and a lot less bad frame spikes during gameplay. It does make quite a big difference, especially on consoles. A lot more work in this area is ongoing.
Bro, they
and you'll
fumbled in
continue to see
game. I
performance
mean,
improvements over
basically,
the next few
yes.
months.
We didn't
Of
have
course,
time to end game.
another
That's what they
important
said.
area is game balance, and we have made a lot of changes. Now, most of these we will save for the patch notes.
Like,
but
we
I'll
have
give
a
quick
new
summary of some
mechanic.
of the numbers.
Yeah, performance is
As
major.
well as
Yeah.
adding 11 new unique items, we have rebalanced dozens of others that are not currently used very often. We've also done a pass over lineage supports. 21 of them have been rebalanced, as well as adding 9 more. Alongside the 2 new Druid ascendancies, we have made balance changes to almost all the others, with some of them getting a grander rebalance, such as the Smith of Katava. Alongside the 20 plus new Druid skills, we've also rebalanced 90 other active skills across all the different classes. And to top it all off, there are also over 250 new passive skills added to the passive
Holy
tree.
shit. Again.
These changes should go a
We're
long
gonna
way
get
to
a
increase
million.
the viability of many more skills, uniques, and overall build variety that can tackle our most challenging content. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new support
Where's the
packs.
end game? What the fuck is
Today,
supporter back?
we're launching
Bro,
2 new
bro,
series
I'm
of
gonna
support
die.
packs.
Like,
The
the new
precursor
farming
and
mechanic is
Current
not
packs.
enough, bro. Where's the
Each tier
fucking
contains
end
the
game
pack's
shit?
full face value and points, alongside several exclusive
Like, okay, we have a Timble, a new mechanic,
As always,
but that's
the
it?
microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The precursor series of supporter packs contains
I'm disappointed
6
a little
exclusive
bit.
microtransactions.
A little bit disappointed, not
First
gonna
up,
lie.
The marble statue character effect. Once you finally stay still for
This
a
shit
moment,
is not
a
enough.
podium rises up out of the ground to immortalize you, turning your skin to marble. When you next move, the stone crumbles
This
around
shit
you.
is not enough, bro.
The precursors had mastery over gravity manipulation. So too can you, now with the gravity well.
I'm not seeing rarity
Witness the power of
issues
its pull as you
fixed,
approach it.
quantity issues fixed. What, like?
Draw in enemies with your own gravitational pull with the awakened precursor armor set.
Like, come on,
Precursors
bro.
designed and built many mysterious ancient beings. This one
Yeah,
used to
for
serve
sure.
as a scout that would patrol and tase intruders. Why salvage gear yourself when the master of the forge can do it for you?
New area is hype, yeah, but like, I don't know.
Breaks down your items.
Oh, this shit looks cool,
The
but
relic of the precursors
they wanna
Magnus is a mysterious machine that sits atop
take our
ancient
money.
colossal statues.
They want to
It
take
keeps
our
track of
money.
the number of charges consumed on your precursor tablets used in the device. The Kalguran Pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Kalgurans had astounding skill in astronomy, being able to track cosmic events with absolute precision. Harnessing that skill, with the astronomer's level up effect equipped, you too can now see exactly how long it took you to level up as it outputs the time in chat. The time taken to reach your last 3 levels is also displayed on the item, so you can link it when you have a time you're proud of. Crush unique enemies by unleashing the wrath of the lost Kalguran fleet, led formerly by Captain Heartland himself.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like,
A Kalguran seafarer
where the
needs
fuck is
armor fit for the
endgame, bro?
treacherous seas of Rayclast.
I expected
This
way
is
more in
covered with
endgame.
the
Way
classic
more.
tricorn, and of course, a pig leg. The lost treasure weapon skins top off your appearance of a true raider of the seas. These gilded weapons can be applied to wands, two-hand maces, and shields. After a long day of plundering loot, retreat to the Kraken's Cove hideout, a home of some of the most deadly, ocean-dwelling creatures in Rayclast. Many ships have met their demise here. What better to accompany you in Kraken's Cove than a kraken itself? Replace your stash with a dormant kraken, waiting for its prey. As you approach, it will awaken and terrify both you and any guests in your hideout. Alongside this, an extra stash skin item will be granted to you, and when placed, will automatically open to any stash tab set with the currency affinity, to help having to navigate through your tabs. Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
Yeah, for sure, bro. You need money, that's
Thank you
why.
very much for all your ongoing support.
That's
We're
it?
just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D.
The fuck?
Afterwards, at 11 AM NZ time, we'll post the patch notes. With release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting
There's
crucial
no Act
information
5?
for the release. Keep an eye on the news. Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments. We're looking forward to playing alongside our fellow shapeshifting exiles. Or
No, bro, this is shit. No in-game changes, no Act 5.
we'll begin the Q&A shortly, so
No,
please
bro,
get your
no,
questions
no.
ready.
Come on, bro. What the fuck? Come on, bro. Come on. I don't know, bro.
Welcome back, Exiles.
No
to
end
Q&A.
game, and let's see
I am
what's
your host,
people-
Ziggy D, and today we're going to be touching on the design of the Druid and the fate of the Var League while we gather some community questions. Then we'll deep dive into
Where are the weapons?
other game design topics.
No weapons, changes, end league, no end league.
Roberts, how you guys going today?
Oh, very good. I mean, you know, it's been a
Atlas need reworks for sure.
really enjoyed it. So yeah,
Big F.
it feels like it's only been like no time at all since the last time you were here. With the PvP.
Look out, dude, look out.
Several weeks, and that's pretty accurate.
yeah.
We get to see you twice as often now, so that's
Look out this shit.
Months or so now, roughly. It's great. I love it. Let's keep going.
That was insanely shortly.
To open with this though is like Druid looked a little bit weak, I think, in the demonstration video.
This is genuinely disappointing.
So concentrating on like just
Don't worry about badge no one's no. I just gonna read them.
damage numbers that we're doing on this like test character we're filming here.
Where's the end game? Where's the end game? Why end game, Mavi?
So yeah, there's just a few things there that we probably should have should have caught and made a little stronger there. But yeah, when you actually play it, it's certainly from the alpha feedback incredibly powerful.
I love this badge. This guy is a bot.
We were seeing some people say, oh, the wolf looks weak or whatever. Well, I can assure you that on alpha, there's a bunch of people saying the wolf is super OP. So it just comes down to
Swords, please. Is that you? Cannibalistic tree? Swords, please. This is so much content, like hundreds of hours. He thinks that the fucking temple is hundreds of hours. If the fucking temple was shit, we're gonna get fucked, bro. It's gonna be.
Pretty easy to be like, oh, we want to communicate how this cool thing works and this cool thing works.
There's a fine line there for sure, where if you get too hectic, people are like, I don't even know what's going on. They're just looking at a ruckus. And then, yeah, in this case, let's say we went on the...
Where's the end game changes? Why don't you rename it to Bath of Boob Exile too? That's true. I'm not on Twitch right now.
Druid gameplay out to people to understand. I think particularly for this class, because of the shape-shifting stuff, it's so hard for us to... Normally we can look at something and be like, oh, that's just a demonstration. We kind of know what it would look like at endgame.
Bro, I expected...
It's so unusual, it's so different that it's actually...
Okay, let's see if these are paid actors.
Feel like to even play it. And I'm happy from my hands-on to say that, like, it's almost immediately, like, very smooth, the shape-shifting of it, the movement of it, especially because, like, in your demonstrations, you're not really using dodge, roll, sprint, that sort of thing as well.
Yeah,
It's a big difference.
I suppose one of the things we didn't really dwell on in the video as well is that we do actually have dodge roll. I mean, they're not actually rolls for the animals, but yeah, all the animals can like hop around and that kind of stuff. And that was honestly one of those things that was like kind of funny because initially we actually had it so when you dodge roll, you would transform back into a human. And the reason we did that is because it's really hard to make animations.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, I expected new weapons, maybe endgame changes to the like existed shit that we have, maybe also.
And this was like clearly the hardest class to design so far, and it took a bit.
I expected way more shit than this.
Yeah, quite a while ago. But the thing is with it is that it's kind of like designing 4 classes in one, because not only do you have the situation where obviously we want to have
The changes on the maps and tablets are insane. I don't know, people's are fucking stupid, not gonna lie. What's insane about that change? It's not insane. Like, it's not insane. The mods on the tablets are like 3-4 mods, which is shit.
It didn't also help that, since the last time we were working on the Druid, way back when we showed it off in Gamescom 2023, we had WSD, and that is a whole other complication because, like, how can we make that work with the animal forms? It's like a whole thing. Like I'll tell you the Wyvern, for example. Like, we had a hell of a time making it so that you could do the ranged attacks because you need to be able to walk while you're doing it. The Wyvern's sitting there with its arms like planted on the ground.
This review compared to point 3 is weak as fuck. Yeah, it's weak as fuck. And I also expected Act 5. Right? Didn't they say we're gonna release some Act shit?
This is not working.
Right. Well, I also remember, like, for a long time, the wolf was just like a dancing dog. It was just like it looked really silly. And, like, man, the wolf as well. I mean, it was really hard to get right, and because one of the things we really wanted to avoid was I didn't want that too much of that whole like man in a wolf suit vibe. Like, I wanted to actually get into the feeling of like this is an actually different animal.
They gave us like 3 new events on the 4th campaign, yeah. So we only have 1 event.
We had a lot of questions about like what even the.
Wait, chat. Do you guys want me to keep watching the QA, or should we talk about the changes first?
And you can be upright walking on 2 legs. When you're walking, you run on 4, and you actually do get a speed boost while you're on 4.
Okay. We talk.
Moving a bit faster.
Fuck the QA, talk after, fuck. Plus all the item mod changes, okay, like we got... Now we got only 1 new mechanic, like 1 new event, and like some weird ass changes. which is like we don't have new crafting, like a really good crafting mechanics.
Then what's the point of the QA? Am I right?
One new era I don't even remember. What else much, because it was not. I mean, like, it was double corruption on items, which is okay, more gamba, but like it doesn't make any shit. We didn't get any improvement on crafting or changes on crafting. Like, that corruption thingy is not crafting, that's fucking RNG shit. Removed map like juicing, and we have tablet juicing instead, and tablet juicing is like also shit because like you only get like 4 modifiers. I don't know, that's fucked up. That's fucking shitty, bro. Like, it's nothing. And I'm pretty sure if the new farming mechanic, I'm pretty sure they always say, okay, you will have more rewards, okay? You will have harder shit, you will have more rewards, but we don't get any shit. Like, whenever they say harder shit, more rewards, we don't get the rewards that we're looking for. We don't get the rewards that we're looking for. What are the rewards that we're looking for? Are you gonna give me more items? Double corrupt, you have to go through a whole area for it each time. I think you can get a currency for it. Map juicing is over. This is the last league for it and nothing else.
The league mechanic, I don't know how I feel about it. Talking about endgame play rate.
How do we make like a spellcaster and a melee attacker that's shapeshifter as well? I mean, this class has got a bit of everything.
For sure.
How did you make all that kind of like work together and solve that build problem of like, how do you actually scale these things together in a way that just one thing isn't way better than everything else?
Right.
It was a joke? Okay. I mean, look. The league mechanic, do you have to open 5 things? Is that correct? Did I remember that correctly? You have to open 5 things in the map in order to access the league mechanic?
Yeah.
Or
And
is it just
that's
for the first
shitty
time?
as well, true.
It's 5 rituals. So you have to do 5 rituals on the map in order to get into the off-map zone, which is just like a depth. Is that correct? And then once you get into the depth, you start putting this puzzle together of the Edziri temple, right?
Not all hyped.
It only
I mean, yeah, it's a little bit
right?
disappointing.
Number 1, you have a double vol, right? Which you can use to vol an already volled item. Which, in my mind, sucks. Like, am I wrong? Like, you have to win 2 50-50s here. You have to 50-50 win the first vol to get the good vol item, and then you have to bring another 50-50 to vol it a second time in order to get the second good modifier onto the item. And if you fuck up, it bricks the item entirely. Like, that's low-key bad, no?
Double gamba, yeah, it's double gamba. It's like shit.
But like, the good thing, this I think is gonna suck. The good thing is gonna be the Foulborn unique generator, which essentially allows you to randomly re-roll one line on a unique. So you could theoretically roll a unique that has like a really negative mod or a useless mod, like Headhunter, for example. You don't really care about getting like another 20 dex or 30 dex on from your belt. You could theoretically roll off that 20 dex line and then add something really, really good to it. So like, this is gonna be insane. Like, this is.
I mean, yeah, kinda. This one is kinda good.
Early, you will be able to make a ton of money. And you could. These are also like buyable. Like you can. These are like.
But it's pure RNG, yeah.
Uniques. Imagine a Calms that allows you to have Spirit. Exactly, a Calms that allows you to have Spirit, something like that. And then you can also get medallions that will essentially allow rooms to stop Like, oh, and one thing is every time you run your fucking endgame thing, it will destroy some of the rooms in there, which is kind of rough because it's like you build up this whole system, and then you can break it at the end, which I think is bad. Okay. After that, okay, they also said something about you can store up runs. I'm not sure how you do that. Imagine the scamming possibilities. Okay. The second time you completely lose, it's worse than rolling a crap implicit. Exactly, Marcus. I think all this ends up in being fine if the juice and rewards from running the juice temple is good. Here's the thing. Did they say specifically that your map modifiers don't apply to the temple?
Bro, he's like removed the amount of daily fog like it's a thing. It's not a fucking thing. Like that's not a fucking accomplishment. Like what the fuck? Why would you announce that we reduced the amount of daily fog? Like it's not a fucking announcement. It's like something like you can change in your fucking game setting. That like, bro.
Add their own modifiers.
That's like that. Like.
Modifiers? Are these mods gonna be better than map mods? Probably not. Probably not, no. Why probably not? Because it's like, I would be surprised if they are.
Imagine if you have enough.
It can be insane from what we saw from the trailer.
I don't know.
Right?
GG scam.
100% rarity is like insane because it's multiplicative with your loot. Maybe it will. Maybe it will be at the end. Maybe it will be at the end. I could see it. Maybe. I think the mechanic success will revolve around whether or not the juice from temples is greater than or equal to juice from maps.
But we don't have like map juicing. The only hard work they did is adding more cosmetics. Yeah.
People just skip the depths entirely. I mean, I did that because they're like at the higher ends where you're juicing your map so highly, there's no point in going to a depth unless you're specifically negative rarity farming or like base farming. So I think the success of this, what would you call it? This mechanic is going to depend on this entirely. But now you can juice depths as well. Wait, how do you juice depths? Are you talking about the temple? Right now, they said any class can transform in animals. By the way, if you put on the talismans, any class can transform into an animal? Okay, chat. Am I crazy for this? But I think there might be a demon mommy. There might be a demon mommy totem build out there. I wonder if Lock will work on the second vol chance. It won't. It won't.
Did I werewolf? Yeah, maybe did I werewolf flash.
If any class can transform into animal, what is the point of the druid class? That's true. That's true. There is no point of the druid class if any class can do it. Because then wouldn't everyone just be going Deadeye Wolf?
No, bro, this is shit.
Changes to Abyss crafting.
It's always tricky, and Mark's obviously the one who handles.
Let's see what Scorpius is saying.
Triggers the fishes. Like there's like very obvious like cross synergy build.
Well, I mean, they're adjacent classes, right? I mean, you've got like strength versus strength int. Like we want to be able to make sure that some of those key elements do like cross over, just so that to open up the way to have synergy between them.
Deadeye Wolf, yeah, I think everyone is gonna be like Deadeye Wolf.
You obviously get an overlap of the kind of mechanics and keywords and stuff, you know, iterating, and thus they will always cross synergize. And where there still will be new things a class offers, yes, there's always going to be a bunch of stuff that they use that will then interact with all the other skills. So.
Yeah, and now you added plants and plants that grow from rain, and there's a plant keyword that has overgrown as a keyword.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like,
It's interesting actually those ones because they're on completely opposite sides of the tree. You've got Dex versus Strength.
Green the rabbit.
Completely opposite sides of the tree. You've got
You
Dex
hear me,
versus
right?
Strength, and that's been a little bit hard to kind of like get the
Has he
where the
opened his
mechanics
ears?
should go
Yeah.
on one side versus the other. So where we ended up going is that the nature side of things for plants on the Strength Int is like you've got the poison on the Dex side versus the kind of like just pure nature like physical damage spells on the.
Brada. What's Bradas?
Because the more classes we
I
have,
think the wet
more we can start to
mechanic
think,
that gives them
okay, like here's support
increased chance
for
to
something
be shocked
obscure.
is, like,
How can we make it so this can apply to some other?
Okay, we got hit with the ad.
As a ranger, could be sort of something. I mean, like I can't say I've tested the potential there myself, but like
Guys, it's literally Nimmies on a quiver. Like this.
has mechanics.
Hey, we gotta stop talking about it, guys. Don't talk about it. Stop it.
The rangers plants.
We're back to Q&A.
They all have ways that works.
I mean, that of interesting party options in the
Right.
future as well. Like,
It's a thing.
I do like the idea of being like a
Okay, you
rainy druid watering
It's a thing. It's easily a thing. It's not even hard to do as well.
Right.
It's kind of
Delete
just like,
VOD.
thanks, Druid, you buffed poison rangers.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of just what happened.
Alright, good, yes. And the rain,
Bro.
lightning skills as well.
That was disappointing.
It's pretty.
Am I hyped?
wild
Yeah, I
how
saw
much
that
stuff we've
quiver. I'm
just jammed
hyped.
Into one class here. How did you like kind of settle on a?
It's another
identity for
bow
the wyvern in
league.
particular? I feel like people know what a bear is. People know what the wolf is. And even a lot of the like druid stuff is pre-established as like, oh, you got plants, and you got like nature, and you got like lifting up the earth, that sort of stuff.
Well, we really wanted to have a third form that was a little bit out there in terms of different from what you'd seen in another game. I mean, obviously, like every game that's got transformations has.
Yeah, Foggan says it's another bow league.
Funnily enough, for that reason, we
Shit.
do it. There was actually a period there where we weren't going to have a wolf because we were a little bit unhappy. Yeah,
Apparently, we're gonna play another Did I.
That was the reaction. That was the reaction of like all the fairies come out of the woodwork and like you gotta have a wolf.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly right. So we're like, okay, we'll have a. Yeah, exactly. Don't anger them. So that was a.
Control F projectile. I got it, Zaki.
So, we decided to go. We needed the two familiar, and then we needed one that was.
Control F projectile.
Did I log in? I don't know how I feel about that.
um,
I mean, regardless if I'm playing Did I or not, I'll update the guide. I'm still not sure we're gonna play. We got patch notes. What if they just delete Ranger in the patch notes?
Spellcastery vibe a little bit more, and so we sort of thought about it a little bit like what animal is ranged. Like it's not really.
Yeah, we need to see the batch notes first, right?
And so eventually
True.
we settled on the white.
That's true.
Map juicing is insane. The changes. Like, okay, so there's two things that changed. Okay, number one, power has moved to the tablets from the maps. So you can't distill anymore and you can't desecrate anymore. But now you can get 4 mod tablets and you can corrupt the tablets now. So rolling your maps is going to be a lot easier, but you're going to need tablets now too. Like, you need tablets. Tablets are massive. Which is honestly sucks. Because, like, tablets are the hardest, like, tablets were honestly the most tedious part of the game before. Because it's like, now it's like, oh, it's going to be so tedious to buy tablets, man. So that part I think is going to be, like, I think that's actually bad. I would rather they just let us, like, why didn't they let us keep the deli and then just have us right-click the deli onto the maps? Or let us just, like, do 10 maps at once. You know what I mean? Like, that would have solved all the problems with the deli. Hideout warrior crafting and reforging tabs. I like the idea of it not having deli fog. No, they nerfed the deli fog. So deli fog isn't going to be as foggy anymore. So I think that was a good solution to that problem.
That's not a thing. The dilly fog is a fucking effect. It's not a thing to be proud about.
It's not looking good. Okay, one thing they also talked about was
It's a fucking effect on the fucking
maps
screen.
Tier 1 to tier 15, you get like 40% more density, or you get 40% more mobs as you progress. I'm pretty sure the amount of mobs that you get does not increase anymore, but now the amount of loot that those mobs drops increases. So in the end, you're killing less mobs, you're getting the same amount of loot. Is that correct? If that's the case, aren't I fucked? Like, aren't we unironically fucked?
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yo,
Like loot and experience increased by 40%, but like they removed the 40% increase in monsters, which is gonna be basically the fucking
We
same.
haven't said yet, or we haven't seen yet. I don't care. I want to explode whole packs. Who cares about more loot? No, we need to have more loot. Put on some back from. Yeah, that's a good call. The silence is killing me too. What the hell? I haven't had it been this silent here in too long. But like, I don't know. I really want to see the patch notes. Also, chat, did it not look like the wolf sucked? Like, am I the only one who saw this? Like, the wolf looked bad. The bear also looked bad.
I mean, they didn't look that bad, to be honest. They didn't look bad. The bear is fucking slow, yes, but the wolf is...
They said in QA, the wolf is borderline OP in alpha right now. I mean,
But like, the wolf is speedy.
The DPS, I'm assuming that they were using white items to showcase the abilities and not actually kill the mobs. So I imagine the DPS is way higher, but like there was no clear. Right? Like it looked like none of their abilities really had clear, the wolf or the bear. Am I wrong? And also,
No.
wolf is like attack based, right?
I think they're gonna have a good clear. When you have a high DBS, I'm pretty sure someone like Fob Guns or whatever the fuck, people who good at like doing the builds, they're gonna find a way to make this druid is like insane like clear. I'm pretty sure someone is gonna find a way to make it an insane at clearing things.
Right. The bear ground.
But like anyway, even if they did, like it feels like that all that we get, a fucking wolf and a fucking bear with a one new mechanic, that's shit.
You get some MS on there, and then you just run around the map. It's a literal 0 button build. It's like Slammer. You don't have to cast. What's the point of Delirium as a mechanic now? It's kind of dead. Delirium is truthfully kind of dead. Okay, Baldy. The bear and dragon look giga slow. I don't think they were wearing boots or something. Did it look like those guys were going bootless or what? Or did I miss something? So we only had 4 mechanics? Well, I mean, you were never running Delirium before. So they didn't kill Delirium. They moved the power from Delirium onto tablets.
Well, we get mobile, that's the major change I see. But did we though? Like people are gonna... I think people are gonna go around did I again.
The new quiver is basically enemies from PoE 1 as well. If you can corrupt it down to 1, the new quiver looks pretty broken. Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, how can we fight the new quiver thingy?
I can totally see being wolf being OP. Wait, why is wolf fast? I don't understand. Like, does the wolf get some inherent movement speed buff? Also, like, if
Here, right?
turn into a wolf, then like, what's the point in playing druid? Does anybody know?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, what's the point of playing druid? Exactly.
Why not just play something else, wolf?
Exactly.
Unless the druid ascendancies are broken.
So this is the new quiver that they say, okay, 100% chance to pierce an enemy. Okay, let me mute this guy and let's... Increased attack speed, deflection to evasion, return, projectiles return at least 2 times, 40% when they hit for each time they have pierced. Critical hit chance, bro, come on. So with this, can we do this? Yeah, we can, right? So with this, we basically are playing the die again, right? I don't know how easy or how hard it's gonna be. We're gonna be able to get this though. I don't know how easy or how hard it's gonna be. Or we're gonna be able to get this. Like this is good, yes. It's gonna be Obi Quiver. Quantity increased, okay. So skills twice corrupted. Twice corrupted. More orbs. Lost 1 level from corruption. And what did the other corruption did though? I don't know. Claim the treasures inside. Yeah, sure. Sure, bro. I don't want to. Help. Help, bro. Arcanist. Come on, bro. Like, why? How the fuck they didn't have time to change any more shit, bro? That's insane. That's what happens when you have BE1 as well in your fucking planning. Just do fucking different teams, bro. Have different teams. Go get some funding from some rich guy, get $1 million, $2 million, and get some more teams to work on this shit. Because this shit was fucking disappointing as fuck. This shit was fucking disappointing, bro.
I continue to serve.
I'm unsure what I've gotten myself into here.
But what is the rewards are good? What does it mean the rewards are good? Let's be realistic, okay? Okay, let me turn some music. Let's not be like every stupid guy on Twitch or gooners or whatever the fuck they're called. Okay, what does it mean good rewards? If we have perfect tier 5 items, like if we get tier 5 items every time we kill bosses, it's not a good reward because like we need specific mods. So basically most of the shit that we get as items is shitty. Like the only thing you can say is a good reward, like if you farm a good amount of currency early game, not late game, like divs and other drops, early game. Late games because it's not gonna matter. And if the mechanic provides you in like it provides a good way to craft as a reward, which is not, it's more RNG. So I don't know what the fuck is a good reward anymore. What are the good rewards? I don't know what the fuck is a good reward anymore. We don't pick items. We don't even pick items in end game because we craft them or we buy well crafted items. We don't even pick items. We pick bases. And bases is not a fucking thing to be proud of, like, as a good reward. It's like, it's not considered good reward. What is a good reward? I don't know what's good rewards can be. It's gonna be like pure RNG, and it's gonna be like, let's say if the staff, yeah, I mean, am I delusional? What is good rewards in this game? What is a good reward? 1 div, 2 divs per map and you're happy? 1 headhunter every 100 map is good? There's nothing called good rewards in this game. Only currency. Yeah, but like you don't get enough currency. Like the only thing that is useful for currency right now is the against the ATDs that we get from farming the disparate alliances. If you get a good perfect ATD, okay, yeah, you get money. Otherwise, you're not getting shit. Like what the fuck we're getting. Oh, bro, I'm disappointed as fuck. Not gonna lie. I'm disappointed. Now, we need to see the batch notes, though. In the match notes, we will see the quantity, rarity, and details for all the shit that we get, that we're getting, right?
Storming arrow.
And we will see if they nerfed more shit. Or buffed some new shit. Some old shit, let's say. But it is definitely disappointing. So, for now, it seems like we're playing Deadeye with only one new item, right? Maybe new skills, though. Maybe we can pick some of the new skills. And some of the new support gems. Maybe. But yeah, I mean... Like, no changes, bro. What the fuck they have been doing? Yeah, I don't know, bro. Like, they know mapping was shit. It stays shit. Other farming methods are shit. They stayed shit. We don't have new weapons.
Rest a while. You will succeed. The choice is made.
Chill song in the street.
Storming arrow.
Chill songs in the street. Shit. Okay, let's change the title. The watch party ended. 3 people party. Chill songs in the street.
Night relics. Slow and smooth. That's how we do.
Night Realist. Click so clean from LA streets to ARPG dreams. Got my mouth chrome plated, keyboard gold. Every line I spit turns loop to soul. Boss room dark, but I own the light. One shot kill when I aim just right. Cool in the chat, they ride or die. Every crit hit make the crowd cry. Respect the code, respect the trick. Night Relix moves like a hacker. It's that code of the click, never fake that.
Thunderous shot.
Full grind with a heart of gold. That blue tight,
We got fucked by GGG. We got G-baited. We got baited. We got G-baited. We got baited. G-baited, baited by GGG. People still watching shit. Let me. See. Okay, are they still watching this?
Blown away by the idea that an ascendancy can have 135 unique passives. Only that ascendancy can get.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. We just talked about that 2 minutes ago. Like it was, like the shaman.
Watch. Like, I'm telling you, it's saved. Because there's no way they're going to make us have to spend 10 div for a fucking tablet again. I swear if you fucker don't get an Omen stash tab, brother, Vody, relax. I already have an Omen stash tab, okay? Like, let's calm down here, brother. Omens for a tablet sounds terrible. No, trust me. It's saving the game. Wait, why is that terrible? Would you rather have Omens for tablets? Or spend 10 div for a tablet? We're streamlining Copium. Like, they need to do something. We are all playing Diablo 4 instead of 0.4. It might be a login to Diablo 4 angle. I'd rather quit League. I'd rather have a better game. Can you finally redeem your 1,000 divs from Ainge?
What the fuck?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
What the fuck?
Actually, it's 1,240. Would you rather have your hairline back or Omen for tablet? Omen for
This
tablet.
guy, bro.
So you're telling me if you're excited they removed tedious map crafting because now you can Omen tedious craft tablets? Are all your brain cells on vacation? I'm saying that is much preferable to me than the alternative, which is legitimately spending 5 div per tablet 3 times per map, which is 15. I'm ready to see a video review how to craft eco tablets. They said no major endgame changes until 0.5.
Bro, that's gonna be fucked. We're gonna be. We need to wait 4 months.
The endgame overhaul is not the endgame Atziri Atlas shit is gonna be giga busted. Right?
Yeah.
And we're gonna be logging in. Variety stream time little cup. It's gonna be fun. 0.3 was fun, so 0.35 will be fun too. Okay, don't 0.35 it. Okay, don't 0.35 that. Wait, also no new endgame uniques? No, there are. Dude, the endgame uniques is not the problem. They added Foulborn uniques, which is gonna be absolutely broken. You didn't play Kalandra, right? I did not play Kalandra, but I played Kalandra 2.0 last league. Add PvP so I can fuck my duo. At least this gonna give me joy.
Yeah, bro, I don't know. That shit is insane.
To fix endgame, there's no simple fix to it. Just takes time to build content to farm.
But like they had
fix endgame.
They had time to build this shit.
Is by buffing the amount of loot. Tune into endgame Q&A. Okay, let's see.
So I've been enjoying the little foggy memes everywhere. That's good. Visibility improvement for the end game, but not only that, like you guys didn't just tone down the fog. You've done some pretty major things with the tablet waystone system.
I mean, the very first question, and before we even toned
Okay,
down
hold
the
up.
fog, the first question was, okay, well, why do you feel like you have to run every map this way in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like the fact that something feels mandatory is already a problem, regardless of the fact that the effect is also annoying. you know. So that was the first thing to solve, and it really then started coming into, okay, well, you know, like how like people are finding waystone crafting more annoying, and we only made it more annoying in Abyss with the you know, having to go somewhere else and get it, you know, like it just made it not like not particularly great. So yeah, the first question is, well, how can we fix this problem, right? Like and effectively we're kind of like, we can go two ways with this. We can either make it so that every league has something that feels mandatory that multiplies with the rewards, or we can say no leagues do, in which case it's more about you know, like which league do you want to run for different, you know, for various different content that they can provide. So we decided to go with no leagues do, because I think that it's probably just like less busy work, less annoying. Like if in the live stream we're like, you know, from this point on, just like waystones, they will get regular, they'll have the regular crafting, just regular base currency, but we're never going to add to them again and like a thing that requires you to do more crafting than that, another layer of that, because I think that having to do that every map is too frequent. Doing it on the tablets means that you know, it's just way less frequent that you have to do these things, which you know, helps a lot. And then of course the question was, well, yeah, how can we make sure that we're not like doing a nerf to overall juicing potential here? So then we had to look into, you know, like how can we get back the, you know, like the power you had. So yeah, that's when we got into the extra mods on tablets and things like that, in order to sort that out.
Now, obviously, you were hoping to do more end game for this expansion. So what's kind of happened with the?
Well, I guess the sort of two things that we see as like the major problems in endgame. One of them is when you get there, it can feel like you don't really have a proper goal. Like you don't have immediate, like, okay, here's a quest to do this and a quest to do that and that kind of stuff. So there's like a little bit of that missing, and that really is a content thing that just requires us to expand upon what a league is. Now, something like something like Fate of the Vaal, it immediately has story stuff to do and so on. So when when that goes to endgame later, you'll have like storyline things sort of built in a way that can like make it so you've got that. But the other leagues don't have that as much, so we need to really make sure we're expanding on those. But the other thing as well is the Atlas tree just needs a lot more love and attention, and like the way that it works and all that sort of stuff. So we just need to do a lot more there.
I opened that tree yesterday and I was like, oh, this sucks.
It's a little tragic.
Why they didn't change this shit then? Why didn't you change it if it sucks, bro? The fuck.
Time and attention making new notables that are cool that require.
It sucks, but we didn't change it. We were looking at it for 2 months and we didn't change it.
Do you have an idea for what you want to do with the ascendancy tree side of things? Like, is it kind of angling more towards what you've done in Public League, which has been pretty successful?
Well, I don't think we should be talking about that yet, just because, you know, that'll be it's more for later. But yeah, I mean, there's things we want to do.
Yeah,
there's stuff we want to do.
We're a bit of trying not to spoil anything here.
Yeah.
we obviously are spoiling the fact we are doing something. And I'll tell you, it's not even. It's not the same. It's not similar. Yeah. It's like, you know, it's in a whole different universe. So it's kind of like, which makes it a little bit hard because obviously we're in this state where we want feedback about the end game.
Yeah, it's
and tricky. So I do want to put, like, people should keep giving feedback because I don't want people to think, they're reworking it end game anyway, so I'm not going to say anything. Just in case. You never know.
There's also different parts of the end game that kind of are like independent of the, you know, just things like how the Atlas tree works.
Yep.
So, yeah.
But, yes, that tree is effectively going to be completely reinvented. So that will get a full drastic change. And then, the, something that like PoE1 with the whole complete your atlas being a very clear, very obvious goal. You just complete all the maps and you get your atlas is complete. And then there's heaps more beyond that, of course. There's all the boss farming and all the different progressions, and even that has like multiple quests throughout the main quest line with the different pinnacles and all that. We just don't have any of that really. It's just immediately into this infinite unguided adventure, and there's a little bit of things with the corrupted zones and bit of that, and like, you know, the burning monolith, but it's still mostly unguided. You don't really feel like you have like, I've completed the main thing, now I'm going to farm, you know, at the moment. It's pretty unsatisfying, I'd say. So really trying to drive that home. And then the other thing that, honestly, we spoke about upgrading the leagues and adding more bosses is like, you know, that whole like having King in the Mists and Olroth as the pinnacle bosses of the leagues, just being like copy pastes from PoE1 was not our end goal. You know what I mean? Like, they're a bit sad as pinnacles right now, and like honestly we need to up the epic a lot. So we've got a lot of that coming, and then just general upgrades to all the leagues. Like some of them are too, you know, Ritual has the whole omens are too good, and others are just like, well, why would I do this? And there's a bit of that going on. So just a general balance, and via adding more content and different axes and all kinds of stuff. So there's heaps coming. But based on all that, to answer the original, is that's how you can see how it didn't make the cut, because it is a ton of work. It turned out to be way more than we had anticipated, and it was just like, oh, damn, we kind of talked about wanting to do an in-game upgrade, a big revamp in 040, and now we've got too much work, and we still believe it's the right thing to do, so we're going to commit. And normally we often get faced with the option: do we cut it down to make it fit, or do we commit to it all and do it? And I don't think in this case we could have cut anything without kind of just honestly making it look half-assed, to be honest. So we were like, no, we need to do it all, which means, unfortunately, yes, it's not going to make 040. But then we were like, well, we can't just now do nothing. So what can we do? Well, obviously, we're not just going to be like, because we're doing it in 050, we'll just leave the fog alone. Yeah. Obviously bad, which was a bug, by the way.
Really?
All fogs, like the volumetric fogs in the game, have a cutout around the player.
Yeah.
That like cuts out and then tapers off. And all fogs in the games, there's multiple different fogs, had it except for Delirium Fog. It was the only fog that didn't have this. So that was, well, like, we can start there by re-adding it, and then we'll iterate until we feel like it's about right. But yeah, kind of sad when you look into these things and you're like, oh, damn. Oops. It was just broken the whole time. But either way, like, a player doesn't know if it's broken or just intended. So obviously, fixing it is the important thing. But yeah, I know there's the guy on Reddit doing a post every day, and
they can finally rest.
Thank you for your service.
Your watch is complete. Yes, we can actually see the ground. It was just hilarious in some maps, whereas like they have holes in the ground, and like there's so much fog.
Nah, nothing.
It's like I can't move anywhere.
It is say shit. They reassured that like the end game shit is gonna be on the 0.5, which is.
You mentioned that, but there was also another kind of key change that you wanted to make sure to get in this one, and that was the kind of like monster density getting swarmed issue.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one, because so when we were doing 031, this was actually already a thing that we were tabling and talking about.
I'm waiting for the batch notes, to be honest.
Because the like monster density can be a very touchy thing, right? But the funny thing is that what we found was that even after we what we actually sort of heard more was like, oh, we actually liked what the improvements were early in game, and we actually would wish that the rest of the in game was more like that. And we're like, okay, well, if that's the case, then like the main thing we have to do is not like nerf rewards, make sure that experience gain doesn't get lowered or anything like that. But overall, we don't necessarily need as many monsters as what we were having in the top. And I think this is actually going to also just generally improve things, because it makes when monsters have more life like that, it makes more builds viable. Because like there's obviously a point where like once you can one hit everything, then there's no point in like you might as well just go for whatever the fastest thing that could do that is, right?
Yeah, the lightning speed.
Right. So effectively, by making it so that monster life's a little bit higher as you get up there, it sort of actually means that like higher damage builds become more useful.
The need for having to target so many enemies goes down.
Exactly,
and thus
right.
You aren't just now funneled into the highest AoE thing possible.
So it means that like things that are less AoE.
They said that last league though. I think in-game map stuff was benching as for 0.4 and 0.3 creator question Q&A. I mean, it is what it is.
Sort of higher damage skills that are a bit less, like not like more than a screen in size.
They definitely focused on boobs this league. Boobs and naked butts.
I want to make sure that even if people are like, but I prefer the swarminess, and it was fun for my build. And the thing is, like, that, speaking of, like, Atlas Tree, that's a thing where the Atlas Tree should be the thing thing that you can, it's like your build can do that. So, like, I want to make sure, like, for now, not doing it, but I wanted to do a thing, because we're doing this whole, like, monster effectiveness goes up more, right? I mean, it's a pretty hard thing to understand, because monsters just get stronger with higher levels, so like it kind of just happens. You don't really, it's not like a thing you need to worry about or anything of the sort. But I want to do a thing where you can spec into making, like on the Atlas Tree, I guess this is a little bit of a forward spoiler, but we're adding a little bit of it in a few places, but I want to make sure that you can invest into making monsters tougher without increasing the number of monsters, where like often it's just been pack size, and stuff like that. So but then I would love to do a thing later where like you can convert that effectiveness increases you can get into like pack size. So it's like, you know what? Nah, I want the swarmy, weaker monsters thing. And I don't want one to. At that point, you can make sure the conversion results in the exact same amount of drops.
Jonathan, man, I'm banging on the GGG studio door for 4 hours. My fist hurt so much and I need to shit. Please, man, let me use the toilet.
Has to have most pack size as possible.
Whereas right now, pack size is just a straight up multiplicative drops XP scale. I mean, obviously not for rares and bosses, but it is. And for a lot of people, it's a multiplicative fun scaler.
Right.
And I don't want to take that away. Like, I want people to be able to do that. But that's what the Atlas tree should be able to achieve. However, it is too chaotic at a base level.
Right.
You get this weird thing where it's like the campaign has a entirely different vibe to the end of the end game now, where it's like you step into the end game, it's kind of alright, and then you get towards the end. I mean, at the start,
There's more stuff to the campaign.
It was just like, okay,
Feel the difference? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if you didn't change if you didn't add endgame shit, maybe Act 5 at least, right? Maybe at least new act to...
that extra layer that you change it through your Atlas tree and through decisions you make for the endgame, as opposed to it just being inherent. So if you want to, we're going to make sure that we try and keep it that if you want to make it more swarmy and that kind of stuff, you can, but it doesn't give you a drop advantage necessarily over the tougher monsters. There are reasons to do both. That's fine. There'll be heaps of mechanics and stuff, but like ideally you can kind of play the game you want to play the game. And so in our tree and our builds, much like you can play the character how you want to play your character, we can do that with the end game as well. And that's the
These dudes are pure genius. Okay.
It's hard to get into more of that without getting into like kind of spoiler.
GG's lazy. I don't think they're lazy. They're just like separated between B1 and this, and they don't have the facilities to work on both.
For both of those things, like I'm juicing pack size or I'm juicing difficulty and rarity with. I mean, that's exciting to me because I like the ability of being able to spec content that rewards your character that has low AoE, that is like really good at like dueling really tough rare monsters. And like, we did get to see a little bit at Imperial one where there was different strategies for juicing where like you had like Titanic Scarabs or something that was making like really strong rogue exiles. And
That's your own fault, Jonathan. You made visuals more important than readability.
Kind of tying into this topic then, and you touched on it a little bit, was like there's definitely been, like, it's been noticed that rare monsters seem to drop the vast majority of loot in endgame maps, or at least compared to normal and magic monsters. There's a bigger difference, I guess, than has been the case.
Like, maybe the new mechanic is kind of fun and rewarding, we don't know. But, like, it is disappointing.
I don't think it's necessarily wrong that it's like that. One of the things we really want to try to make sure of in PoE 2 when we're sort of doing a sort of from scratch pass on this is that the amount of rewardingness of something is equivalent to the amount of difficulty that it takes to kill it. And that's kind of where, like we're trying to normalize that because by doing that, it means that we can try to get like, we don't want a situation where like some content just is randomly just way more rewarding than other content. And so we're trying to just make sure that we're keeping tabs on that really well. And what that's kind of ended up with regard to the magic versus rare is, like we've got the balance of that where it should in an ideal world be the case that like, killing a rare versus killing a white monster is, does in fact drop the correct amount of rewards relative to each other. Now the issue can come with the fact is what if your build can one hit either?
Maybe the new mechanic is good.
The way that feels a little bit. So,
like, it looks like it can kill some time because like it's big and some rooms are gonna be destroyed and you need to build them again and you can upgrade them and you can explore them until you reach the final boss, which is like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good amount of time to invest in it. And that might be enough as a content, but I don't think. Yeah, no, I mean, if it turns out to be shit, it's gonna be like really boring. Like it's gonna be.
Like that's kind of what we're shooting for. when we're trying to balance this stuff.
Yeah, I think with the balance of how things are and the options we have now, it probably makes sense. But yeah, it looks like something you'll be keeping close eye on.
It needs to be really rewarding.
There's a bit of a parallel with one of the kind of issues
Rewarding,
we see in
like
one where like everything is in reward icons, the little floating symbols, and that seems like something you're trying to avoid moving forward.
We haven't really been doing that for a little while now. There was certainly a period there.
they normalize stronger enemies, dropping better stuff, and bidding should be really lucrative, but it's not. So I hope that's changed. They actually made and aren't just talking.
Really, like it wasn't really that great. So it's going to be a little while since we've done that stuff in PoE 1 even, and in PoE 2 we kind of steer away from it to make sure that like everything feels
Bossing,
drops and a reason to do it.
but like they say the change is not gonna touch bosses.
You get the reward rooms in Fate of the Vow. You have a unique item room.
Sure.
You know, like, but it's not just like a floating symbol above the monster.
Right.
Yeah.
Which also, immersively, I don't know what the heck that is, but what is it? It's just nothing. It's a clear and just obvious game mechanic.
I see some like floating, glowing cash money dollar bills above your head. Guy's loaded.
Whoa. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. And, you can't have my loot. But I just remembered you spoke about rare monsters, and I was like, hold on, did we? I don't think we deployed or spoke about this change, but I know that taking away all the rare minimap icons was a bit anger-inducing. Because honestly, we knew it. We knew it was going to be.
Yeah.
Now, they aren't a requirement of the map, but as you're saying, they kind of drop a lot of the loot, and people were just doing the whole coasting between minimap icons. The middle ground we've come to here, which I think is quite cool, is once you've activated all the checkpoints in the map, which sometimes is 4 too, the things for fast traveling and respawning, then all of the things appear on the minimap.
The funny thing is
I mean, what the fuck is this shit like?
Okay, right. We intended to deploy that back.
They didn't even deploy this shit. What the fuck?
You just play your map. You generally find the checkpoints. If you're in a straight line map,
They didn't even deploy this shit. I mean,
anyway, I don't know, but it can happen. But it doesn't just reveal the rares; it reveals everything. Every icon. So strongboxes you missed, rogue exiles you missed.
Okay. Just so basically you can find if there's any content that you still wanted to grab.
Now some people might argue, hold on, I'm just going to run around the entire map activating them all and then go clear. And I was like, well, okay, if you want to waste time.
Right. But you're going to clear the map while you're doing that, right? So you probably clear the whole map anyway.
Yeah, so it's kind of just meant to be a like, look, you've
that's kind of stupid, to be honest.
I mean, like, if there's generally speaking, if you've got like a big square or circle map, you're going to have 4 checkpoints. You activate all 4. You've at least explored probably 75% of the map, right?
Yeah, it's about getting those last things,
and then it's like, okay, look, you're now allowed to see if you missed anything.
But then you can also use the
that's shit.
Just
give us back the rare monsters icon. That's what we wanted. Like, we don't need.
Because yes, then at least you've done 75%
bro,
of the
that's
map,
shit.
Probably without just doing blind minimap gameplay. And then from that point on, it's like, look, yeah, I get it. You probably missed something.
They love these interviews.
It should actually maybe.
I think they're rage baiting people.
Because it's not just revealing the rares; it's going to reveal even more. So you'll know about everything else you missed. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I understand that was a bit of a aggravation for a lot of people. But that's a perfect example of, again, it's it's why I don't want people to not give feedback. Because like this kind of stuff still should be fixed pretty imminently, and so yeah.
I mean, I hated maps without rare icons.
This seemed like I loved the
rare monsters,
but I was definitely a victim of the I'm only looking at the minimap now, so it kind of seemed like a change for our own good situation. But what you're doing here,
this is a good middle ground.
Yeah, it seems like it's saving the players that feel like that they're FOMOing because I know I missed like a league mechanic in the map somewhere after this. Like that is really bumming me out. And then they have to go and crawl back through everything and waste a bunch of time. So that's just kind of saving them that. Sounds like a good compromise change then. Nice little extra bonus reveal there. Good stuff.
Yeah. You just said rare monsters and I just had this random
Good.
Wait,
what more words can I say?
Probably should have put that in the live stream if we hadn't deployed it yet. But everyone forgot.
It's in the Q&A. Good stuff.
Yeah.
We shall move on to kind of gear and passives, and this is in the topic of balance and character power, and this sort of stuff has been talked about a fair bit. Something that's mentioned a lot is that the ratio of player power that comes from gear versus what comes from ascendancy and passives is much more tilted towards gear than in Path of Exile 1. And so kind of like roughly for an example, like the average PoE 2 passive is like 10%, whereas the PoE 1 passive is 16%, whereas the amounts on gears are pretty similar. So like the 100% increased fire damage on a wand is consistent as tier 1 affix between both games, meaning that like more of the power is kind of being shifted away from the tree, the thing that you get by default, to gear. So this seems like a conscious decision to make gear more powerful. Is this something like you've thought about or made like specific strides towards?
Probably the main thing that we wanted to do in PoE 2 was make it so that the tree is more like we're trying to be more stringent about how the tree is multiplicative with what your gear does. That does make gear more important. I wouldn't say there's necessarily been a thing of like necessarily wanting to the amount of power overall that you get from one and the other is more unbalanced, but it's just making sure that like when you are using the tree that it's specializing your character more towards what the bonuses that your gear is giving you to kind of make the two things together like be sort of important to be thinking about both. So that was kind of our primary goal, but I don't know if you've got a different feeling about any of that.
It certainly wasn't like the passive tree being weaker. Like I guess we didn't really even think about it in the point of comparison. We just kind of like went back then. We went really back to the basics and evaluating a lot of our base balance, and
you super OP.
so it wasn't like let's nerf it compared to PoE 1. It was more just like what do we want gear to do? What do we want the passive tree to do? What do we want? And all of that at the end of the day is just relative to then how do we want the monsters to scale and how which they're all different, right? The way that the monster scale per level isn't the same. The way that the tree and thus the tree benefits are different. The gear is different, and everything. So again, not really. It was conscious decisions, but not conscious decisions to like nerf from PoE 1 or anything of that sort. That being said, yes, I mean I don't. Couple other things. I mean, we made, for example, the decision that like we wanted the class stats on the tree to be weaker than the exterior. So generally, the nodes are meant to go up a little bit in power as you get further away, so you don't just get the like class hopping kind of thing that historically occurred in PoE 1 quite a bit.
The class stats were stronger than
you get
stuff,
the M on the top and stuff like that, and so that was a decision we made. But yeah, I mean, I guess we did kind of have like we want gear to be more important, especially base gear. I think we maybe overcooked it a little bit right now, but just a little bit with more the ease of it, the ease of getting it. But that's a whole crafting discussion, I guess.
Talk about that too.
More of an in-game problem. But yeah, I would say, I mean, I'm personally pretty happy, honestly, with how it is.
Just that like ratio of importance of gear compared to passive. I guess like it's a question of how much power do you get for free, right? Like ultimately that's what it comes down to is like if my gear if I'm wearing all white gear, like how powerful is my character from just the tree? And that's like a little bit lower, I think, in PoE 2.
And the reason for that
bothers some people, I guess.
The reason for that specifically is because the tree is more multiplicative than it was in PoE 1, where there was more just base stuff, there. I mean, you can look at it even in simple things like, just life on the tree, for example, right? Like that's sort of another example of part of the thinking there is like, like the more base stuff is available on the tree, the more the same characters can be because they can just allocate the same stuff and get the same stuff without having to worry about the items. So yeah, that's kind of
obviously
just one of the
that's
things.
not entirely base in PoE 1, but you you have base life. As in life without gear.
Yeah. And where are you at on the life?
Any changes to Exalt Sync 700X to 1 div is kinda crazy. Does this guy lives like 2 months ago. It's like 2k div.
Another one of those cases of every character being the same.
Yeah.
Like it's like we'd rather you specialized in the defense that relates to your character rather than just
Okay, someone answered him.
So,
okay.
We'll just have that general feeling.
I mean, we've obviously still got imbalance here.
This guy lives like 2 months ago.
Never ending. So, like, the tree will just continue to evolve, and like we added a lot of passives at some point that are a lot more powerful, and we intend to keep doing it.
And some of them are useless as fuck.
But not just that, like we added more like ignite support on around the mercenary. For example, this time, like as in 040, we're doing that, and then there's some changes to like more prod speedy stuff because like we were like
He doesn't even know what changes are there.
how
Because
can you
there's
get more
none.
scale? And it's like, well, it turns out if you get a bunch of piercing with prod speed and some other stuff, like
Some other stuff. Imagine, like, we did some other stuff here, and we did some other stuff there, and
just based on what builds need. I know bleed needs a bit more love in the bottom right, and you know,
we did some other stuff here, and
blood mage
some other stuff there.
that kind of thing going on. So again, it's gonna just honestly, we'll just do more and more and more and more and more on the tree. I suspect
Oh no. More.
I'm not saying I'm going to increase the value of every node, but just by the nature of how many more things you can invest in and multiplicative elements, you're probably going to end up with a lot more power coming from the tree than what you do right now. But I actually prefer it doing it that way than just increasing all the numbers anyway. Because at the end of the day, if we then increase all the numbers and then it turns out the game is like too easy, well, then you have to nerf something somewhere or just buff monsters, and then you kind of end up in kind of the same place. So it's like, what did you actually achieve?
So with the like approach to life then, which I feel like makes sense, like not wanting the trees to like look the same and whatnot. How do you feel about like why does ES kind of get a separate treatment when it ultimately, although it's a defense like evasion and armor, it functions much more like life? Because there's a lot of ES scaling and ES numbers are pretty high compared to life, and definitely
I mean, that's a current balance issue for sure, but like, you know, just because it happens to function more similar to life, they're all at the end of the day a form of effective HP, right? So, I mean, they just, as long as they're not entirely symmetric, which is what makes them interesting, which is why one works this way and the others work a different way. And
if only the newest area gets good, new drops everywhere else will feel so shit. Mapping became so strong last league, nobody played anything else. Especially after we noticed the Sekhema change.
I don't know, there's changes to be done here. There's a few changes
I
coming.
mean, we need to try it though. We're not gonna know unless we try that shit. That's the issue. Even with batch notes, it's not gonna be like 100. We're not gonna be 100% sure.
Nerf kind of things around this, so like because we've changed and rebalanced so much, it's really hard to know, and even changes to how the monsters scale and whatnot. It's kind of hard to.
All other bossing and everything else didn't really matter enough. Yeah, it still doesn't matter.
See how the metas evolve,
again.
See what's good, see what's bad, and then like reevaluate.
It still doesn't matter again.
ES is worse, but I don't think it's. Honestly, I don't think it's nerfed enough. To be honest, is kind of where I'm at with that. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
A little nudge in the right direction, perhaps. But I know in the past when we talked about this, we just.
Why would you nerf fucking ES though?
Like letting energy shield values be high, but really focusing on the recovery side of things and making that like you just said, like making things not homogenous, making things different. Like life's really easy to recover, but
freaky, yeah, baby, give me some, give me.
It's just really easy for all of a sudden some cool design to come out, and then all of a sudden it's just a completely trampled recharge. And then it's just like, well, now why do I care? You know? And I mean, like, it's okay sometimes if it's like via an insanely, like, I mean, Essentia Sanguis is a perfect example of doing this, right? Like, it just straight up ES leech. And the thing is, like, I don't want to take that away. I just, you know, there's a level of, there's some balance to do and or commonality to do. Like, if that's a thing you strive for and can eventually achieve, and now your character's like freaking god tier, that's exactly what like high-end unique items should do. So in this case, you know, I know we're making that item rarer.
0.3, they buffed, I mean, true, but like 0.3 that we have now, mapping is shit. I would say, honestly, we only have Sekhemas right now. And Sekhemas is good only if the Spectrum jewels are required for some builds, so they're gonna be worth something, and also some of the ATD modifiers, if they are required, they're gonna be valued at something, and that's it. Everything else is shit.
I imagine
Like selling the relics, yeah, okay, we can sell some relics, but if it stays the same, it's nerfed, kinda.
massive train thing as well. It probably makes it hard to
Like Sekhema's is kinda nerfed.
areas of balance when it's such an incomplete picture.
Yes, and it's also just honestly a time issue. We're adding all this new stuff while having to also correct all the existing stuff, and then the new stuff is like, how fast can the new stuff break the existing stuff, and how fast can we then fix that? And it's you know, when I say break, I mean balance break. You know, it's to the point where it's like all these new variables are being added as we're trying to fix all the existing variables and balance them, and these new variables are like, you know, it can be hard, like real difficult. When you're at the point where you're not adding so much new stuff, you can just catch up, get to a point of stability, and for sure it's there. But like, we have expanded. Like, I've got 3 new people. I don't know if new. I've kind of taken a few people that were more balance oriented out of our QA. I mean, some of our QA people are kind of elite, you know. I don't know if I should say who they are, but some of them are off, you know, top hardcore ladders and stuff. And I'm like, well,
Cool.
look, they do know what's going on. I'm like trying to teach them the philosophies and how to do all this stuff. And so I've got 3 new people doing that. So hopefully, and historically, we've had quite a limited number of people actually doing balance. It's quite hard. It's actually one of the harder things to have a good feel for. And if you put the wrong person in that position, who knows where you'll end up. So it's really important to make sure that obviously these people understand the philosophies and are trained well, and you know, you're being cautious with it. But yeah, I got 3 new people doing that, so
Yeah.
much larger team in the
He doesn't have any more shit to talk about.
a lot more, and we're not just going to be up to like 1 or 2 of us. I mean, historically, it's been pretty much me and Andrew, and that's it.
So you've got your elite squad.
Can't wait. Can't wait for what, bro?
Now to,
pretty much, yeah.
To play Deadeye all over again?
Like 5 of us, it's a very considering I also have to do the leagues and the end game and the monsters and the bosses and oversee all of that. It's pretty hard to also be able to find a lot of time to sit there with the spreadsheets and with the game and going, what does this build do? What can it do? So getting more people there is going to be a game changer for the future in terms of
Yeah, we hired 3 people. It's a game changer, bro. Trust me, bro.
do a new class and keep the game up to date in a much better way and keep iterating on this.
It's a game changer. We hired 3 new people.
Stop with this stuff. I mean, PoE 1 hasn't stopped after forever, and often you want to keep metas fresh. You want to update. You want to make new. There's always you make bad things good, good things bad. Well, you know, bring them in. Not, you know, whatever.
you want to make good things bad quote at all time.
2 people balancing 2 games, that explains a lot.
You know,
They might also nerf Deadeye. Yeah, we need to see the batch notes for sure, bro.
Having more of that is going to honestly be a game changer. So I'm very keen to see how that's going to play out, you know, especially
Game changing.
see where that goes and what it allows us to do, and have less of that picking our battles, and let's fight more battles, you know. That's fine, which should be cool.
Cool. On the gear power level side of things, plus to all skills has been talked about a lot. And even you guys have mentioned in the past, like it exacerbated things like mana issues that people were having. It's obviously very powerful and available in very high quantities. And I think it exacerbates other issues like uniques being less viable because they don't have them, for example.
Right.
And it does seem to be of a power level that's like overriding other aspects.
Plus to all skills gotta go. Why?
Stat in many cases.
When batch notes release, they said in 2 hours when we watched.
To make sure, like for fizz weapons, you always had this like IPD, you know, increased physical damage that was always kind of effectively mandatory stat on those weapons. And,
It should
you know,
be
something where, like you would
like soon.
Like you know,
Maybe
like,
30
you sort of have
minutes?
this baseline of like, you know, some kind of multiplicative way to make the weapon better, and effectively plus skills on
Is it
on staves and wands was supposed to kind of fill that sort of same multiplicative approach where like that was a thing that you to make the difference between a bad spellcast weapon and a good one. That was kind of the idea to kind of try and get that to so the
Hi,
items mattered more.
I'm Jonathan
for,
Rogers.
for spellcast weapons. But I think maybe like,
Content
it's just kind of like, probably need to have a
reveal.
look at it, but I'm sure Mark, you've got more theories about it.
I mean, we need to change something.
Right.
100%. I mean, I know this, like, you know, we obviously have the illegal mod, the old Essence of Sorcery, giving that extra +1 to
The
focus,
batch
and
notes.
+3 to focus.
When is the
and,
batch
foci,
notes?
and the old homogenizing for getting the +3s on amulets. By the way, they're
Should
gone.
be soon. Very soon.
Goodbye, homogenizing.
I was ready for that one.
They were illegal for other reasons.
Don't know how people are going to feel about that. I'm not sure if I should look at the chat over there and see if it's a W or an L, but whatever, they're gone. It was adding an insane amount of complexity to crafting. But anyway,
I particularly was... I particularly was like... I actually don't like crafting mechanics that cause you to have to think about mods in the exact way that they needed you to think about them. So, you know,
how do you mean?
Well, it's a bit tricky. I mean, it's like a whole other conversation, probably.
Yeah.
But like they I don't think that that they were quite right for PoE 2. So yeah.
But anyway, that's kind of off the point. I just randomly just started talking about stuff
We'll talk more on the
It's real easy to just pivot to start listing nerfs and things you're removing for some reason.
I think at the end of the interview, they're gonna be.
An issue.
They're gonna reveal it.
And I understand the whole. I have this perfect wand. But I've got triple T1 prefixes, but I don't have the gem level, so throw it on the floor, right? I mean, that's kind of generally it. It's like if it's missing that mod, it's trash, right? That's the bad feel. It's like I did everything right except for that, and it's terrible. And we were trying to create a thing where it was like similar to, well, like how do you itemize as a attacker?
Right.
And it was like, how can we have it be not just identical on a caster, but kind of have the same level of complexity of how to get
and in particular
power.
that still have the same level of an item actually matters, right? Because traditionally in PoE 1 you had this thing where if you didn't want to have to worry about itemization very much, then like spellcaster was the thing you could do. And we kind of did want to still try to like have it so that items do matter on spellcasters as well.
So why then does it seem like for a lot of people it doesn't work? Like, because IPD doesn't seem to attract ire.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that. I think the mana cost thing might be part of it for sure. The increasing the mana cost, but
I suspect at the end
Spellcasters are falling off without OP item mods being brought up is good. Many unraged builds get such good stuff with any damage not even needing orb singe stuff.
Really have that?
I mean, I think so.
And that's it. It's just if you don't have that mod, bad. If you do have that mod, it's fine. And that's it. It doesn't matter what the rest is necessarily doing. There's not really much other choice.
Right.
And so that honestly can be enough where it's like you instead of reducing the plus gems, you could create many different options, and maybe it's still fine. Like plus gems is one way, or there's this way, or there's this way, and that way it's like, yeah, sure, there's more opportunities. But yeah, right now it's just either good or bad, very binary. And
it is quite hard to think of multiplicative ways to improve spell damage, though. Like that was a real challenge when we were even looking into that. If I recall,
it's weird to me that like added damage on a caster gear isn't doing that more. Like maybe it's because like so much of that's already available in the game through other means or something. I don't know, like because that is effectively added flat damage in the same way that plus gems is.
Added flat damage on caster gear doesn't exist.
Extra damages, I should say.
Extra damages there. Yeah, added damage we removed because you just ended up doing a damage effectiveness on then every single skill to the point where it ended up being...
I wasn't in love with damage effectiveness having to exist because I find it to be a bit confusing for people. Like, I don't love that, and so I was kind of really hoping to avoid it. I did have this sort of feeling, though, back when we did that, of this inevitable, like, we're probably going to have to add it back again one day, and I'm not going to like that. Because like it is a very useful tool, but yeah, I think it's just I think it kind of sucks as a thing. Personally, I'm just not a fan of it.
The damage is extra.
That's another take on that.
I mean, that's we've done. I was just thinking of another change we've done here. So obviously, I'm pivoting a little bit.
Zero any damage on weapons plus spellcasters is a problem right now. Make their gear cost way higher than most builds.
Even though we're not changing the plus spell so much, we are making it so that you can't essence +3 spells on the foci, which I said before, just to be clear, that is a change. But the other thing we're doing is we're taking it's the runic and glyphic equivalent of spell damage on foci and for all the different damage types, and just saying they can't generate on foci now. And I think we're in the end game, we're then increasing the base energy shields a little bit. It doesn't. I know people, oh my god, you're making energy shield better. Don't worry, it makes like no real difference overall with the other changes in mind. But the idea is being that a wand and a foci should be slightly more defensively enhanced, not offensive compared to a staff. And so one thing we've done is we said all staff prefixes. So that's the damage is fire, the element damage is the types. It's the just increased specific damage, increased spell damage, what is it, mana? I don't remember what else. The prefixes. Those are all now double wands as opposed to, I think it was 50 to 55% higher than wands, give or take. So, and then, so if you want, like, it just adds more reason to want to use a staff. So the staff prefixes are double wands, whereas a wand plus foci is not giving you, well, it was pretty much giving you more damage, I actually think it was, than a staff would have been able to. So at least now staffs are going to be better, but that isn't anything to do with the gem level problem. It's still obviously its own problem, you know, but it's again just talking about a little bit of the like overall improvements to just like finding different types of gear where it's like, well,
give us the fucking batch notes, bro.
I mean, you actually made a ton of changes to just weapons, like generally, right? Like in terms of the progressions and stuff, especially through the campaign.
Yes. So when we were adding the talismans for the druid, we were like, what do we want all the in-game base types to be? What do we want the damage in the campaign? And what we then started looking into was a lot of the other weapons going, well, what were they doing? And then I was looking at things going, well, this doesn't seem right here, and this doesn't seem right there. And you get these weird things which people probably don't honestly appreciate.
The way they answer questions,
where it's like you're upgrading your weapons
this,
from like,
this league,
examples. I don't know. I don't actually know if this is true. I'm just going to just...
they don't know shit. I mean, this doesn't look like here, and we're gonna do shit there, we're gonna do shit there. We're gonna change like here and there, you know, and
but the damage is actually the base DPS of that weapon.
I don't know if we did this, but we should do this there and we should do that here. And
is worth the trade-off of the implicit, and so
definitely it isn't worth it.
It isn't. Yes, the valuation of the implicit damage penalty was mismatched in a lot of spots, and so you get these things where every third weapon in the campaign is just like a random DPS drop, and so we're changing all of that as much as we can, at least.
The thing is, you might not even necessarily recognize this as a player, because generally speaking, you just like, you see a weapon that dropped and you're like, okay, what's the DPS of this compared to another one? You're not necessarily thinking about the fact that there's a new upgraded weapon type, or that's like, or that should have been higher. So what it ends up being is there's just a whole of like 20 levels go by where it's like, I can't get a weapon upgrade, and it's frustrating. And that's what it actually feels like when you actually play it. But in reality, what it was is that the weapon type that was supposed to be an upgrade is actually a downgrade. That's something that Mark immediately we saw, and he was like, okay,
we're doing a little bit more. I don't know if we're going to get through all the weapons, but we're trying. Whereas like, you get to end game and it's like, okay, what's your fast weapon? What's your crit weapon? What's your just standard good weapon? And then here's implicit A, implicit B, implicit C, you know. And then it's like, which one's your bonk weapon? Like, which one am I just going to bonk things with the slow, heavy hitter? And trying to just do a lot more of that and make sure there's all the in-game choices for all of these weapons, bunch of different cool implicits, changing some of them around, just reevaluating the damage of them all, just the base deep. So generally speaking, pretty much all of them going up across the board in little ways. Like, they're not, nothing make or break, but like, it's enough of a thing that as you're going through the campaign, you're not just like, where the heck are my upgrades? And also at the end game, just increasing a bit of the choices of different base weapons you could use for different builds and whatnot. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things that, you know, it's easy to go a little bit underappreciated, but you know, it matters, like in changing the staffs and all of that stuff. It does, you know, contribute to the overall picture of just things feeling good. And you know, it's another one of these things where it's like, yeah, we just in the process of adding the druid weapons, we were like, well, let's go do the rest of this right as well while we're at it. So yeah, we've still got a bit more to do there, but I don't know if that will come in this, you know, week to come and or as opposed to afterwards or something like that. But we're just going to try and do as much as we can. So even if not all the weapon types are in the patch notes, it isn't to say we aren't going to do the rest of them before the end of next week, because it doesn't take too long to do them. But you know, at the same time, you don't want to rush it and mess it up. So yeah, I don't know, just random thing.
I think people are increasingly souring on rarity and gear, especially now that it affects currency drops, and which makes it feel very mandatory, right? Because like, what do we play for? Currency, obviously.
Well, don't you worry. We've had our you know, every 3 months discussion of talking about rarity and what we're going to do with it.
I think we nerfed it again, didn't we?
We did a little bit. We cut off some of the top tier mods, so just the overall amount of it is lower. It's a stopgap. I don't quite know. We haven't come to an exact decision, but like, it is true that it feels like every change we're making at this point is getting slightly closer to just it despawning.
Keep having those meetings then.
I will get rid of it eventually. It's just that we need to find We need to find the mods that can replace them in the mod pools that like in order to make it work. And it's like this is the annoying thing. Is it's like if we just removed it right now, there just wouldn't be enough of a mod. Like the mod pools wouldn't work.
There is an interesting thing we see where and I don't like for sure it is understandable, but we see a lot of videos being made with just absolute 1000% misunderstandings of how it all works. And which probably isn't helping its cause in any way, because it has all these hidden DR things and just a bunch of hidden mechanics in it. But yeah, there's certainly a mass amount of misunderstanding as to how it works, and people going, look, it does exactly this change, and it's like it's not even doing 1/10 of what you're saying it's doing. That being said, I'm not saying it's not a problem. It is 100% a problem, but there is certainly a mass misunderstanding with. Again, because we don't even explain it anywhere. It's just this hidden. There's some formula somewhere, that no one has access to.
I mean, then explain this shit.
Been a bit secretive on drop-related stuff in particular. And,
Just explain this shit, bro.
Kind of happy to keep it that way for that one, or is it something you're like misinformation?
We wanted to make it clear. We wanted. Okay. We were like, why don't we just get rid of the DR and find a way to make it work and actually display the actual value, but. That is at conflict of removing it, so there's a little bit of like we just got to pick our direction here. And
it's inherently unclear even to us in some sense. Like we can't say like the number of the like what okay, but that sounds a bit weird. But what I mean by that is like it's not like that when you get that it just increases currency. Like it's through like 10 layers of like different ways things work that kind of result in an overall amount, like overall in currency increasing.
You mean like the content people are playing and stuff?
Well, not just that, but even in terms of just the way the system works, right? Like it's a very indirect method by which currency is increased. It isn't just that we drop. It's not just like there's some code somewhere where it's like increase currency by this amount. Like it is actually like it is a result of multiple systems on top of each other working to result in that, and that's why like the only way for us to even know like what it even does is by simulating actual drops from actual monsters in order to work out what it actually did. So yeah, it's like sort of I understand that might seem strange, but it's because like the drops are complicated. And there's like so many things we've done over the years to kind of like massage them in various ways, and it's like it becomes quite unclear at some point, even like what the relationship between one number and another can even be. I
think the takeaway is Jonathan said he's removing it.
I want to get rid of it. We just need to find a thing to replace it within the mod pool.
Like, and that's very
it's
okay. I don't need to understand it.
It's exactly the same conversation if we bring up what Dex gives as a it's like it's 100% the same type of problem.
So what should Dex
Jesus,
give?
What do we make Dex give rarity?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think they know how it works. I think they coded shit over shit over shit over shit to the point that they don't even know.
Makes sense. No. Okay. On the topic of balance for damage types and damage scaling, lightning damage seems like a clear-cut winner at the moment overall. In terms of doing more raw damage, having access to shock, and even having its own kind of
even them
stun,
they don't know.
Cute, and I guess separate problems with like, for example, fire and ignite. Where are you guys at with like the balance between the elements and lightning damage?
I'm not going to
overall?
say that they're in now equal, but like a few things. So I mean, I know there was like a 15% more max damage notable. That's now 10. We've done, I think all of the skills that had multiplicative shock effect are now increased. So they stack additively with the tree. So, it's honestly just like a whole bunch of different little things. Lightning rods are nerfed at endgame just while we're here. Don't worry, lots of things are buffed that aren't lightning builds necessarily.
Yeah. Nice.
But no, some are as well. But yeah, it's I don't want to just make it about let's gut lightning. I want to make it be like, well, let's make these other things feel cooler and more special. So it would be very easy to just go and gut lightning across the board. But that just seems like an overall net loss of fun. I'd much rather, find ways to incentivize the others as opposed to just take away the thing that currently is, kind of enjoyable. So again, it's more important to not just nerf. Now they're equal. I won't say we're there yet, but the problem is obvious, so at least it's not.
And you don't really want things to be like the same power level ultimately. Like it seems like, you know, one of them should be more damage, and one of them has like more utility, like cold with freeze and chill.
Well, for sure. Like cold was
but
intended to be that way.
ultimately, people aren't going to accept if one element has more clear speed than another. So, like, while it may not be damaged directly, it is in some indirect way it needs to translate to damage on some level.
I mean,
because, you need to, it needs to, or rather, it needs to indirectly translate into clear speed in some manner, right? So, you know, that's
unless you're making the monsters 40% stronger.
Well,
and
but
they
that's
are
what I mean, right?
sticking
Because
around, and then you're freezing them.
Yeah, I mean, because we're doing that, it means that it ultimately means that, you know, the higher damage, smaller AOE, like not having to actually rely on arcing all the time to be able to get the massive AOE can kind of like make a difference. So even just that change alone can shift the meta like a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like fair amount of changes to like the passive tree scaling for lightning and stuff like that.
Yeah, shock. I mean, shock is pretty hectic.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, you have this thing where it's like, okay, well, let's say even cold. Obviously, you can freeze more often, but then often the boss is sitting or the monsters are sitting in there. Then, you know, poise timer before they can be CC'd again. You don't have any real control over that. And chill, well, chill has a maximum magnitude of 50, so you can't really scale. So, like, already alone, you can 5x the power of a shock, because I think the cap is 100. And in some cases, you know, Stormweaver even go further than that. Whereas you can't exactly be doubling the power of a chill necessarily, and so on. So there's like, even just that as a random thing. Like Ignite doesn't have enough love right now for sure. Yep. So even if it was meant to be those three ailments are a point of comparison, I mean, Shock is kind of a little bit crazy right now compared to what the others are capable of doing. Not to say Chill isn't strong, not to say Freeze isn't also obviously powerful. You know, they will have their time, and they may have already had their. I mean, we had freaking cast on Comet on crit for a while there, and all of that as well. So, you know, it will always change. But yeah, I mean, just bringing some of the shock back and some of the other just little outliers here and there was a first
here and there again. Here and there, we're doing some shit here and there, and
goodbye lightning. You know,
I don't know, here and there.
It's the wrong thing to do, for sure. So.
Yeah, people also like playing lightning. I think it's just,
exactly.
I think it's just the feeling when they like playing their cold builds and like it's better to convert to lightning. That's why I think that's when it becomes more problematic. You kind of mentioned you touched on the fact that you feel like Ignite needs some love. I feel like with damaging elements, there's a fundamental thing maybe that's causing problems where it's scaling with like hit damage and crit so directly, I guess, in this case, differently to how it's been done in the past, where it leads to maybe, in addition to it being a bit weaker, feeling like just kind of an add-on, like Ignite's not really a thing. I don't really have a pure Ignite build. Ignite's just like a bonus added kind of damage on top.
Yeah,
of like
it's a bit flat, honestly. I agree. We've had heaps of discussions here about all kinds of different options. We had some boil down to whether or not we're going to do keystones. We want to do something. We just haven't landed on exactly what we want it to be and how. Whether or not it's like we change the base versus change it through again a keystone or something you spec into. But yeah, it is a bit flat, and it doesn't have enough. I mean, well, yeah, it is as you said. It's just here's a bit more DPS, I guess, at the end of the day.
I don't know what.
And then even there's limited ways of kind of scaling it, and you know, I'm not going to say there's none. There are some, but it's not enough. It's yeah. I mean, overall, I'd say it just hasn't got enough love. So, but we want to.
Backtracking a little bit on the like gearing, we touched on crafting a little bit, and so I love 0-3 crafting. Like, it was such a huge change from like a game that some would joke didn't have crafting into some of the most powerful and interesting crafting we've had ever in Path of Exile. I think like it's right up there. 0-3 crafting was amazing. Like the combination of the core currency changes, the changes to essences was really good, and how these things interplay with some of the omens and the abyss.
Well, let me tell you what he's gonna answer. I mean, we made changes here and there, and we're gonna do this, like, I don't know, here and there.
So, what of that was illegal or is illegal or is being?
Well, you said essences. So we talked about essence of sorcery.
It's not like we're gutting anything like that, right? There's just a few illegal things.
It's a few. Are you pretty like you like overall where it ended up?
I mean, I think it's way better than it was before.
Yeah, 100%.
Great.
Yeah.
It's too what I found playing, and obviously and collating a little bit of data, but it's the kind of thing where I don't have enough data to go and or enough feedback to go and make some sweeping change. Is that people find that getting the it's too easy now to get to the absolute upper echelons of gear. Is what I kind of honestly, and I assumed that there'd be a bit of a public civil war about me saying that, because I could see people going, no, that I love it that way, and a bunch of people going like, well, I'm completing my characters way too fast, right? I got nowhere to go. I got no, I want to play for longer, and I have nothing to spend my time doing. Like, it's done, my character's finished. And I could see people being very binary on that for sure. But then it's like, how much of that just comes down to homogenizing, for example, and a few different axes like that.
I think a fair amount.
And but yeah, I know there's other problems, like for example, because of the high tier currency, there's a little bit of like you don't even need to pick up tier 5 rares anymore, because what you actually want is a base type to craft from. And so in some ways it's wrong in that regard, for sure. Like, if people feel that way, that's probably not good. Yeah, and then there was some other things with the essences that went wrong. Like, for example, the essence of haste, being able to craft melee tiers of attack speed onto bows. It's not alright, right? That's better than what a bow can even yield. So, like, now a dropped bow can never be the best thing in the game because there's an essence that can grant high value. That's not intentional. Like, the essences should be good, but they shouldn't be giving illegal mods, as we keep saying. So, yeah, it's a bit of that, but I would hate to... I want to see how it goes, but I definitely... feel the thing that like definitely hit me the most that I want to get more feedback on is the people just going, it's not there's no point in picking up T5 rares eventually, because it
But there's no point in picking them up.
And I can more guarantee that it's going to be good, and so
That's true.
But yeah, there's a bit of that, and so but again, it's very important with these kinds of things not to just like that's obviously right, let's just change everything, and now item gearing is just ruined, because you could very easily undo with a lot of the good that 030's crafting added. So
we don't pick tier 5s.
Being very careful with it, for sure.
So it sounds like definitely getting rid of a few specific things. Omen of homogenization was a pretty clear one. I think that was seemed hyper illegal, as well as like some of the specific essences. Like the tiered currencies, you feel like you're pretty happy with that overall?
I think overall I like them. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And like the essence changes in general.
Yeah, for sure.
And what about abyss crafting? Now that that's going core, is that like changing a lot? Because that I think played a pretty important role in giving you some interesting decision making in crafting.
It's not changing very much aside from the removal of waystone crafting from it.
Yeah,
sure, there'll be a few number changes around.
Yeah, just little bits here and there. Yeah. Well, I mean, inherently we have to, because we buffed staff prefixes, we have to go and look at everywhere that adds equivalent mods and make sure those are increased as well. And so, like, either way, there's some overflow effects that just kind of happen.
We don't know shit.
But,
stop saying we don't know.
Significant change to that at this point. For sure.
Just explain your shit. He doesn't know how to explain this shit.
It's core when you're playing through the campaign. Much like you get the world map icons, or it's like, oh, this thing's here. We've got a bunch of areas where there are abysses. I think it's 6. And each give throughout the entire campaign. Each will give a crafting thing, so you have at least 6 guaranteed campaign crafts.
Oh, great. Awesome.
There's a guy alive in BVE that wants
so you're giving you a bit of that
to buy a jewel for 1 chaos.
And then in-game, sure, use your tablets, and then start running it, and
awesome.
You want to get the crafting, yeah.
Well, I'm amped to hear that, like, overall it seems to be fairly intact then, because I was definitely a huge fan of, like, the direction crafting's taking there, so, and I'm excited to see this one with, like, the Sacrifice of the Vile stuff too. Well, the new Vile stuff. Excellent news. Alongside that, we had the addition of asynchronous trade, and both things obviously very powerful for gear acquisition, raising both like the kind of floor of like what's considered your like baseline gear, what's your 1 exalt gear basically goes up a lot, but also like getting it more accessible to get to, like to craft or to obtain the really high end gear. How much of an effect have you seen in terms of like players kind of making the game easier, Like, has the game gotten a lot easier overall for people? Are people like reaching their final product earlier?
It's really hard to tell how much of it is the trade system and how much of it is the crafting changes. Like, it's actually really quite hard to disentangle.
So what about as an overall picture?
Yeah, I mean, look, but at the end of the day, it's like the crafting system the trading system as it is something people just need to have. So, like, we just have to, work within that.
I'll tell you, like, if we have a in-game itemization problem, we're not going to go and say we need to nerf trading.
Good.
Right.
We're past that. Finally, we can put that in our rearview mirror. Excellent. Yeah, so the question is, like, I guess now more just adapting over to that. I'm just curious, like, as to how extreme it has been, because it seems like it would be absolutely massive, like crazy. But
it's honestly quite hard to tell, as I said, due to the other changes.
I guess it's like a longer period thing to
But
analyze.
then at the end of the day as well, you could say that if this is a feature we need to have, then it doesn't necessarily matter. Like, we just need to work with it and just deal with it. So,
I know in the past there was a fear, and this kind of touches on crafting a lot, where if people could craft like really good gear super easily, that they would stop playing. Like, the player retention would go down. I feel like in some cases we've seen some of the opposite phenomena. Like, there is, to an extent, the opposite phenomena where, like, people gain access to the builds they want to play, they gain access to content they might not have otherwise in a more reasonable time frame for them. So their engagement and the amount of time they play ends up going up as a result, like, in a surprising twist.
That definitely can happen, but at the end of the day, like, retention isn't exactly the reason why we do it. It's because we sort of feel like, if we did want to make getting the hardest gear harder, then the reason we would be doing it is because we don't like the feeling that you can get of, like, I don't have anything else to get. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the reason to do it, not necessarily because of retention reasons. You know what I mean? Like, it's more about the play experience, to be honest. Because, when it comes right down to it, like, our model has always been, we want to keep you coming back every league. Like, we don't necessarily care how long you play a given league for. We just want to make sure that each time you play a league, you're enjoying your experience, that you want to come back and play the next one. So, that's kind of our philosophy on that. So, retention isn't directly a thing that we're, like, optimizing for exactly in that way.
Players hyperfixate on that.
Yeah, it's more about retention from league to league. Like, what are we doing? Like, how many players do we get back for the next league, as opposed to how many players do we get back the next day?
That's interesting. Yeah, I guess because we have, like, Steam charts, we get hyperfixated on retention numbers.
I mean, it's not like it doesn't matter either, right? Because you can, on some level, judge the success of how much people like the league based on that.
Yeah, it can tell you how much fun people are having.
Like, at the end of the day, what people are saying about what they thought about it is actually more important than the number of people actually playing it, because, like, that, as long as they're, like, happy and they want to come back, then we're happy.
Mean, if you have more fun in a smaller amount of time and then you're more happy to come back next league, then that's a win.
That isn't necessarily a problem, right?
You may have played less this league, but maybe...
So they're kind of a little bit unrelated in some ways, but also sort of related in others,
Okay, well, it'd be interesting to see how this continues to play out then, the crafting trading thing. I'm super interested in, like, the economic aspects of that.
Right.
But it's definitely had a big impact, and on the whole, like, 0.3 felt like a huge net positive for both crafting and trading.
Agreed.
So good.
Yep.
So good.
Agreed.
All right, well, we'll keep. I'll ask about that, like, everything. I think, 'cause it's like where do you guys feel it's at now? What about now? Can we scroll to the end? Thanks. There we go. So we had just a couple of random questions. I do see one in chat, but it's not really a question. People just typing move speed, but I don't really actually know what the context for that is. You guys know?
It's the speed at which you move.
Very insightful. Thank you. Maybe you guys could type an actual question in chat. I'm just saying instead of just chanting, but
I mean, adjacent to that, one change we have made, which is kind of interesting, and I think it's a kind of I don't know if the general desire is more or less of it. I suspect you'll find a bit of both. But irrelevant of that, like, a change we made is there's lots of in-game runes where you can now only use one of them. And it's quite interesting because obviously before it was like, get the double socketable effect on boots, put all the removal speed runes in, and it's well, great, now you got... And, it's kind of interesting, but it also meant that generally what was happening is every single slot was just stacked with the same rune type. So now you're getting this, like, kind of nice mixture of different runes being used and different things, and it's kind of enhancing that. But yes, it overall makes the amount of movement speed you're getting from boots lower at the end game. But those were, like, very, very, very expensive. So which is kind of cool. What else is not much
I
else has
suspect
really
this is
changed
kind
there.
of like a rehashing of
Yeah, I don't think he knows shit,
mandatory
bro.
move speed on boots versus like implicits and things like that. I've always been a big fan of like a little bit of implicit movement speed on boots as you go up or something like that. But I know you guys are happy with like having move speed be an important stat on boots. Like,
yeah,
I guess, and maybe some people just want more move speed, but
I mean, some people always will.
That's a thing, yeah.
There's probably some people that want to move
faster. Yeah.
It's just less. I think there's some people who might want to have a less mandatoriness to have to move so fast as well. To some
Rua
degree.
problem. Why the fuck is it's a problem? It's not a fucking problem, bro. I don't understand.
We don't like mandatory mod items on. Yeah, it was that topic. Okay, cool. Thanks, team. Just confirming that. Yeah, I feel like that's been discussed fairly well.
Rua's good.
Yeah. We're at the same stance on that, really. Which is it's interesting because technically, if we end up acknowledging that is wrong in the context of staffs and wands, then we might have to reevaluate why it's right.
Rua is good.
You know, it's an interesting thing where one discussion might yield the other because it's kind of a similar problem in both contexts, and we might end up who knows what side of the fence we're going to land on. You know what I mean? So
I've seen Acolyte of Chayula get mentioned a lot. I have not played that class, so I can't speak to it too closely. But is that one that is getting
we've done number
love,
buffs at the very least, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I think almost every ascendancy class has some level. Like honestly, some of it is like one node changed. Some of it, like for example, Pathfinder's got 2 whole new notables, and like we got rid. I mean, Pathfinder just did that. We got rid of the poison spreading notable because it's pretty much Herald of Plague, and we just put the 4-pointer to the 2-pointer, so you get the actual more powerful spike one for cheaper. We got rid of that like multi-choice ailment mitigation, and we were like, wow, it's the Pathfinder, so let's do some cool passive tree stuff. So pulling some inspiration from the PoE1 Scion, the Pathfinder can now also allocate passives from either the Witch or the Warrior start points, you know, for just like, you know, doing some crazy builds. And I think there's even a new notable on there where normally you have your highway nodes and it's like 5 dex and strength. There's also now 3 other options for the Pathfinder can take that node, and now there's 6 choices you can do on your travel nodes. So it's like, oh, I don't want as much attributes. I'll get instead damage. I think it's damage, defenses, and like cost efficiency or something. So you can kind of like better balance how much damage you want, defenses you want, or reduce. So it's like another kind of cool, interesting thing. So yeah, I mean, that's a class where it's gotten a bit more changes. Acolyte is numerical for now. But again, we want to do something grander with Chaos. It's on
There's quite a lot of just monk
list.
generally improvements as well, just balance wise, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, every class has kind of got
Been pretty
changes everywhere.
in the thick of it.
I think the patch notes currently lacks. We have a thing where we're doing a bunch of changes to specific monsters for being spected.
Okay.
Like when we actually looked at it, we're like, look, if we just increase Spectre overall, it's going to increase the specific specters. Like we want to
Turn carries so fast and throw attack animations, so too high on other builds doesn't bug me, since some builds can use the attacks as movement. I mean, I don't think it's an issue.
It's a different resource, so we're going to start doing that process where we try and do like, you know, 5 to 10 from here and here and here and here per patch, and kind of just start trying to get them to be more viable. And specifically as specters, and honestly you'll find most of the time it's just changing the cooldowns and changing the AI to be like not, because normally they're just like, I have to care about a player.
Yeah,
And
maybe
some minions
tablet.
there, but
We
honestly
need
sometimes they just don't
tablet
even
stash
care about
tabs
the
for
minions.
sure.
They're just like, nah, there's a player, right? They assume there's a player because generally speaking there is. And so now when they make a specter version, well, there's no player for them to target. There's, you know, only monsters, and so they might be just making some silly decisions about how they're targeting and when they're using their skills and stuff like
But
that.
talking is more than the work.
But those won't be in the patch notes because the intentions that we're still doing them. I don't want to release a half-baked set of patch notes for that. The other thing is I think we're still doing. I've held back from the patch notes. I've held back a bunch of the minion occult, specifically a bunch of changes around command skills and stuff like that. Just because I want to just do a little bit more iteration before we release that. Couple of Ice Ranger changes. I think that's like a massive improvement to the Ice Ranger kind of play. I mean, using the existing skills, a lot of numerics, a lot of changes to ice fragments, stuff like that. What else is not in there? There's a few other bits and pieces not in the patch notes, and that's because all of our stuff is, and that's just not to say there's nothing changed. I've just taken them out for now because I want to make sure they're right. Otherwise, we have to give some false information and then change it, and it's not great.
You've been updating the patch notes over the course of a week now, so people should still probably expect that.
Yeah, for sure.
Initial patch notes coming.
I know there were like, I mean, I think we ended up changing something like 80 different unique items or something like that.
Sick.
Again, mostly focusing on endgame ones, bosses ones, mythic ones, working our way down the rarity. So like more of the ones that are meant to be higher value and meant to be higher effort. We've demoted some to be more common. We've promoted some to be rarer, stuff like that, and done a whole pass. But even then, like I know last night we were like, oh, there's like kind of 5 or 6 here that we're like maybe on the fence about. Let's, to be safe, pull them out, discuss them, reevaluate them, and then pull them back in the patch notes afterwards. Just to be safe, because again, I don't want to mislead people.
I saw a question about that from our resident summoner expert in chat. But the monster changes, like for making specific changes to monsters for specters, does that end up in patch notes? That seems like pretty hard to track.
It will this time.
Nice.
Well, I don't think we've done much in the way of actual specific monster changes this time around, but this, what I was talking about doing, will, yes.
Okay.
It just, what I'm saying is it won't be in the initial set of patch notes because we haven't finished them yet. So, but they will be, like, I think the patch note says will be in a post later this week, or later, in the week coming. So
a funny one in chat.
Bro, like even the fucking patch notes are not done. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, but the talismans of melee weapons.
No, melee is never right in any game ever. No, I mean, because it's kind of true, right? Like,
it's quite. There's a funny phenomenon right now where it's like, whenever we talk about melee, people say that like there's literally only.
Like, yeah, you're gonna get your full patch notes, later this week, maybe 1-2 days before the fucking league.
Stormwave, really melee, then you get that.
There's always this funny exception with it, but like ultimately, I think what it comes down to is that the game doesn't have swords.
Yes,
yet.
I know.
Is that,
I know. We need swords. Yeah, I get it.
We need swords.
We need swords.
So swords are.
funny.
From talking to you, it sounds like swords. Swords are getting added to the game at some point.
At some point, we will have swords. I can promise you that.
Yes, it's
rolling in patch notes. Yeah, imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, at least we could have read the full batch notes and started like planning this shit, planning new builds, doing whatever the fuck we can. Are you gonna say coming later in the batch notes? Because the batch notes are not fucking full. We cannot even plan.
Got a decent amount of changes.
Like, I don't know, bro. What the fuck?
Kind of a lot better now. For sure, we like over nerfed it. But yeah, lots of around the. I mean, honestly, like, I want to say 90% of all the balance changes are probably in the direction of taking underplayed and underpowerful things and making them a bit better.
Nice.
That isn't to say that we've successfully made, like, maybe at the end of the day, lightning archers are still somehow better than ice archers at the end game, but certainly the gap has narrowed and you'll feel less bad for playing one over the other, and less bad about decisions. And so that's ultimately the goal, and we'll get there eventually, but yeah, huge step in the right direction, I'd say. But yeah, and then things like Outer Louis, all those outliers on the top end, those are coming down a bit, for sure. Sometimes more than a bit, depending how extreme they were. Culmination's another one, where like just having an uncapped combo thing, when you get damage per combo, I mean, and then obviously you can just one-shot everything in the game at that point, so that's a problem as well. Some of these outliers 100% brought into place, given caps, whatever the case is, but again, more like 95% of all the changes that we're trying to make is bringing up the underplayed things to be a bit better, and just to all kinds of varying degrees. It's really hard to. It's like, do you just do everything across the board?
They were too busy chilling in the last few months. It shows how comfy they got after 0.36 is. Yeah.
Right at this point, we're trying to do a very widespread. Let's look at literally every skill and go.
I think so.
A decision we can. What would we do?
It's not only that, but I think also like focusing on the BOE1 new league also. Like their attention shifted.
If so, let's do that, and then bench that thing for a later time when we have more time, and then move to the next, do the same assessment, and then we just try to do that for literally everything.
The Balanced Ninja Squad is currently focusing on clear speed, it sounds like.
Yes, but for things that are not already, up at the top tier, generally.
Right. We're getting quite close to patch notes, so we'll rapid fire some things off here. it seemed like at one point like druids were going to have claws as their weapons, so that has obviously changed to talismans. Or
That might have
they
been
were
a
like
case of long
That
time.
was
ago.
actually
there was like
that was
some
actually
nodes or
for the
something.
huntress.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, weird. Yeah, so it sounds like claws are probably not going to be a thing then.
Probably
They've, like,
not anytime soon. No.
Decided not less interesting than
Yeah,
other
yeah.
options. Yeah,
Mhm.
all right, cool. Hot swapping between controller and mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, something I promise every single time.
So
and yet somehow we still haven't done it yet. So what I can say is that it is actually, we have an implementation of it. We're not shipping it this time, but it's much more close than it was last time. Like, there's just some stuff that needs to happen, but like, it is a thing that has been seen on a programmer's workstation as to work. But yeah, there's still a bit more to do. But yeah, like next time, I know I've said this twice before, but next time we will definitely have that. I know it's a weirdly huger feature than it seems, because like the code was just originally not written with that in mind at all. And yeah, it's just requiring a lot of re-engineering of a whole bunch of existing UI. To be able to get it.
Bro, just hire more people.
Yeah, I know.
Inventory management.
I know.
Oh yeah, sorry. They hired 3 guys to balance 2 games.
Okay, good news. It's being worked on daily. It sounds like. Do you have like
My
a
bad.
timeline for full release, or not ready to announce that yet?
Don't really have it to announce, but I mean, look, I certainly don't want it to be 2027. Like, I really want it to be next year. Like, I really do. So, like, it'll be, I really want it to be next year. But
we certainly underestimated the amount of work we wanted to. Certainly by having to make all the leagues constantly and all of that. And I know some people might be like, just don't. But like,
you need to do.
We want people to play the game still and enjoy it, and do what we want to do. But so yeah, you get this thing where we severely underestimated how much extra time it would add.
Your rule of cool of like, we want to do the 130 extra passives because it's cool. I mean that has an expense.
Yes, all of this does get in the way technically, but.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, we're not going to release until everyone's happy. So
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's what needs to happen first. So
it's a good trade-off.
Yeah.
With the performance improvements, which looked like really impressive, even more than the 25% you're saying, like looking at the side-by-side footage was like,
Game will never be free.
We did 25. I said 25% as a commitment because like that's kind of like I want to make sure, like, look, people are really sensitive to the stuff, so like I wanted to make sure that we're not over-promising.
Under-promise.
And so under-promise and over-deliver was the plan, but effectively, like, I've been focusing a lot myself actually and trying to make sure that it's getting better. Effectively, what we've done is, I mean, obviously there's just sort of traditional optimization that happens, but a lot of it is just effectively making sure we're multi-threading things better, taking advantage of more CPU cores. If you're GPU bound and you don't have dynamic resolution turned on, then it obviously won't affect you because you're GPU bound. If you've got dynamic resolution on, so like GPU is not so much of a concern, then CPU was definitely a problem for just about everyone. Like even really fast CPUs were having issues in in-game mapping. So the goal really was to make it so that, like when you've got a lot of shit going on, that your CPU is not overloaded. We did that by multi-threading things much better than we were before. And, traditional optimization, just lots of improvements there. Like now... there's so many things that are working better than they were before. Like in many cases, honestly, you see double frame rate, like just straight up.
Awesome.
But as I said, like not consistently in all cases. So and consoles obviously saw a huge improvement. They consoles just have weaker CPUs than PCs do. So therefore, when you're doing CPU optimization, consoles are what's going to benefit from that. It's just a lot better. Now, one of the things I'm a bit worried about is that by multi-threading more things, you can run into multi-threading bugs. And so there might be, hopefully not, but there might be some more crashing going on when we first launch, just because like the thing with multi-threading is that depending on the exact scenario, different things can happen at different times. It can cause some
I
issues.
have a post for Reddit.
We're trying to do as much testing as we can to fix all those kinds of issues. Effectively, that would be the worry. But yeah, I think that it was definitely worth taking the plunge and doing that stuff because it is way better. I probably should make like a video on exactly some of the go into a deep dive into it at some point because it's kind of interesting.
It feels like even still, occasionally you guys are still just finding ridiculous things that we just made it.
I should post on Reddit.
Exactly.
Just because of some just ancient thing.
This image.
It's we definitely still find some crazy stuff
of Jonathan.
It's going to be a lot better.
And the title would say, "When you fuck all the hype in one batch."
Even more time on getting this exactly right. We're not even at the point.
When you fuck all the hype for the game in one batch. Because I remember last league. Someone posted that photo and said, "When you fix the whole game in one batch."
Yeah, as I I said, like.
So I think we should do when you fuck the whole game in one batch. Let me think.
Awesome.
Let me do it. I'm gonna do it.
Great news.
I'm gonna get banned, but I'm
Passionate
gonna do
yeah.
it.
So we will end there and let
no
people
one's
go
interested
and
in listening to us
read
anymore.
the
They've got,
patch notes.
they've got
Oh,
the
all
stuff.
right,
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
No, thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure to talk to you once again, and I look forward to checking it out and going and playing some more.
Reddit.
Excellent.
Where's Path of Exile?
Alrighty, thanks for the questions, everyone. We'll
Thanks,
see you next
everyone.
time. Thanks for watching.
Cameras on, so I'll just look at you.
Oh, look at all the cameras.
Create a post.
Right.
Thanks for watching. Title: When you destroy all the hype in one batch. Boast. I'm gonna get banned from Path of Exile 2 though. You must contain booster flares, fluffs, and memes. Patch notes are live. Let's see. I'm gonna get banned from BOE to Reddit. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What are we talking about? The fate of the Valve League. Start fresh economy in the fate of the Valve League, or blah 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 blah. This is okay. I'm gonna need to chill. Civilization. This is lore, right? There are standard hardcore social variations. Okay, whatever the fuck. New content. A new playable character class, the Druid. New Oracle and Shaman Ascendancy for the Druid. 20 new skills, 35 new supports, 8 new lineage supports, much more powerful supports that only available in the end game. 250 new passive. Yeah, we need new passive skills. 10 new unique items. New weapon class, Talisman, for the Druid. 4 augment items, new modifiers. Is this deleted already? What? I'm giga hyped? Who the fuck typed I'm giga hyped? People are gonna attack me. Holy shit. I'm gonna regret this post. They nerfed. Did I wait, bro? Don't burn this shit. We're waiting. Abyss, Askur, mechanic. We don't care. General improvements. Player changes. Tailwind, yeah. Now grants 1% increased movement speed to previously 3. 1% doesn't matter. 10% increased evasion. Okay, 5% does matter. And prevent 1% of damage from deflected hit spear stack. Based unarmed attack time is now 1.65 per second. Okay, this is good for unarmed attack. For what? For monks? Modifier to the number of the enemies required to be considered surrounded can no longer reduce. I don't understand what the fuck that is. Modifiers to the number of enemies required to be considered can no longer reduce the required number of enemies below 1. Is this a nerf for the fucking helmet that we used? Haters gonna hate. People are trashing on me. On Reddit. Sorry, this post has been removed. You are currently banned from this community. Okay. Shit. Shit. Sorry, this post has been removed by moderators. You are currently banned from this community and can't comment on posts. Fuck, I thought it's a friendly. It's a friendly community. I thought it's a fucking friendly community that we can, like. It's a buff for the retailers that buy helmet at 6 for surrounded. I mean, what do you mean? I bought that helmet. Physical damage reduction shit. Can I still see the post at least? Where's Path of Exile 2? We did it, Delirium Fog. Yeah, I can see the post, but I can't comment. You are currently banned. I mean, I don't want to comment anyway. We got banned. Hello, Mr. Paul. Ascendancy changes. Reddit is not a friendly place. Yeah, I thought it was funny. All skills granted by an ascendancy are now automatically activated when granted. To manually activate them. Is it gonna be good? We don't know. Mostly not. We don't have any endgame changes. Wind Ward has been removed. Bullseye now requires cold shot. Bullseye now apply 10 critical weakness, previously 5. Added a new Mirage Deadeye Ascendancy. Passive skill which grants the Mirage Deadeye mid skill. Mirage Deadeye will active. Fine range projectile will carry USB second range stacks for a short duration. Vanishes. You cannot create another Mirage for a short time after initially creating one. Alright, see you in 4 months. Yeah. Pathfinder. Contagious removed. Practical remedies removed. 5% more damage. These are the new options. Amazon. Elemental Surge. Consume to gain 3 lightning surges. Surging Avatar reworked. Yeah, that's insane. Now provides when you consume charge. Ritualist. Previously 15 from Jewel level 1. Previously quality now is plus 20 to corrupt stolen previously 2. Other life forces needed 15% affected by blood. Orbinger, Titan, I don't care about this. Smith of Kitava, I don't care about this. Blood Mage, Storm that like gym changes. Who the fuck is gonna read all this? Skill changes. So basically a giant balance change in another class. They added a new mechanic as well. Where did I get banned? I just got banned, by the way, on. This content is no longer available? Why? Reddit doing Reddit things? I added this on Reddit and I got banned. When you destroy all the hype in one patch. They added a new mechanic, but Ice Tipped Arrows is now offered as a tier 4 skill gem. This is a fucking balance. Unique item changes. Grand Spectrum. Now roll 6% all elemental were rocketed on their Sapphire Variant, previously 4. So Sekhemas, we need to farm Sekhemas because this is has 2% more. I want to see the end game thingy. Item changes. Rune sockets have been renamed to augment sockets. Why they do this shit, I don't know. Like, rules are fucking rules. Non-jewel items that go into augment sockets have been renamed from socketables to augments. Existing items have been renamed to idols. Bro, why the fuck you change this shit? And they nerfed the runes. So you now like limited to 1. Runes of the Sky is limited to 1. Grace limited to 1. Limited to 1. They buffed it? Is it? They buffed what? I think you're late. They buffed the Grand Spectrum, yes. But if we are talking about this is a fucking nerf. Item changes. Limited to 1, limited to 1, limited to 1, limited to 1. Gonna need end game changes. Okay, let's see. Maps no longer scale back size as you increase in tier. They instead increase in non-unique monster effectiveness. Effectiveness grants monsters increased life, increased experience granted, increased quantity of items drops. Tablets now have a maximum of 4 modifiers to unlock the ability to be on 2 modifiers. You need to have defeated the Arbiter of Ash. Arbiter of Ash no longer drops a rare corrupted tablet. All tablet, okay. So there's all tablet modifiers that would roll on a generic can now roll on all tablet base types. The following tablet modifiers have been disabled. Bro, they disabled quantity. That's insane. That's insane. Why, brother? Delirious reward progress. They disabled this of envy. Granting or have this stuff to say they did something. Most of this shit means nothing. Yeah. All of added new tablet modifiers. Okay, so we have 3 disabled. Grant 7 to 11% increased effectiveness of monsters in your maps. Unique monsters. So we're gonna need to focus on effectiveness of monsters instead of quantity of items, because effectiveness will give us more quantity of items, which is basically the same, right? Unique monsters, 1 rare modifier, 1 to 2 additional to the tablet modifier. Now grants 18 to 30 rarity, 10 to 30. Okay. Back size, magic size, gold experience, quantity. Okay, this is all like bullshit. Monster changes. User interface. Some interface cannot be balanced. Support gym flow, shore, horror, current. On the waypoint, select the underground location features. Quick search. Added a quick search feature to the stat filter in that. Oh fuck, trademark it. Okay. Stackable items will no longer to be merged into existing item stack when control. What do you mean? Optimization, yes. They said that At least 25% improvement on CPU use. Like you will have 25% more frames, at least. Microtransaction changes, bug fixes. Bro, that's it? Refactor couch co-player interface. When switching between controller, add a new cursor tracking which allows skill to continue updating their target location. The cursor size option. I cannot believe this fucking thing, bro. Well, honestly, like the cursor size option has been changed to a slider. Do you know how much work that took from us? Do you know how much would take that your current rage is no longer displayed in your buff bar? Instead, there's now a rage meter next to the mana globe. Do you know? I think you don't know. Do you know how much time that to add a quick search feature to the stat filter in the trade market? It took years. This shit is hard to do. It's much harder than you think it is. Monster changes. Improved the visibility. We don't care about visibility. Improved the mid-fight phase change and sequence. I don't care about all this shit. Yeah, I will never get a fucking. I will never get a fucking deal with GGG. First, I'm banned from their Reddit. Second, I shit on them wherever they fuck up, so shit. I should chill for a little bit. You finally got him to do it though? I told you, I have this shit just to say they did something. They just went a big page of patch notes, even there aren't balance changes. Yes. So, like, the only thing that matters in the end game, we no longer have quantity, we have increased effectiveness of monsters. And they buffed the rarity like by 8% to the minimum. The other shit is like modifiers on the tablets, which is look at this, look at this. The get out of my head and the mirrors, Delirium Atlas notables have been swapped places. They swapped the places, bro. Idol of the shitty thing to unlock it will be deleted, no longer required. The vaults of Kamazo unique map chests are no longer affected by party bonuses. Removed camera zoom out from completion of the tower. I swear, bro. I swear I'm gonna bang my head and. Bro, the thing is, I am 100% sure that every fucking streamer are gonna do a fucking video. Big changes in this league. Farm viewers. What do you mean? Cameras zoom out on the completion of tower maps? What do you mean? Like, bro. Objective icon for activating all checkpoints. When a player activates all checkpoints and creates all the map content, minimap icons will be revealed. Removed Breach, Ritual, Delirium, and Expedition from the map legend as they no longer have icons shown on your atlas. You read wrong? Yeah, bro, this shit is like nothing. Insane changes from GGG. They're gonna farm the fucking views. People are fucking stupid. They're gonna go, yes, oh, that's insane change. Okay, previously 20 to 60, 35. Relative items, like this is kind of buffed, but like the maximum is not buffed. The minimum is buffed. The maximum is not buffed. So it's definitely like shitty. So end game, yeah. Quantity changed to effectiveness of monsters. Relics. Okay, relic modifier, limber now, grats, trap, steel, reduce damage, reduce damage. Relic modifier, light-footed can no longer roll. What's light-footed? Added a relic locker to every end of floor reward room in the trial of Sekhema. Because you know, each time we reach the end of the room, we need to open that relic locker and put relics inside it. That shit is fucking insane. Like, this is shit. This created modifier granted reduced movement speed penalty from using skill has been removed. Amulets grants chance not to consume now, instead grants 20-30% scan skills. Glory they're using can be updated to the new values with the divine orb. Corsair Core now grant 5% instead reduced movement using skills while moving. Perfect events +5 from +6. You can make your item worse with a divine orb. Let's see what's the big boys are saying. Where is this? This guy is good. Where is it? Where is him? Fob gun. He's gonna read.
20 stacks instead of 10 stacks. Because Cold Charge is garbage. The marketing's still bad. I guess like the new Mirage thing could be okay. Maybe we use new Mirage. Okay, whatever. Rage Regen now also pauses Rage Decay, similarly to other means of getting Rage. Oh. Wait, so if you have any Rage Regeneration, you have permanent Rage. All Rage and costs have been changed to 10 Rage. Okay. Physical damage reduction from armor can only cause a hit to deal 0 damage. Okay. Ignited aura effects, including ignited ground, no longer apply infinite ignites. Instead, they apply rare ignites with standard duration. Ascendancy changes. So yeah, Wind Ward is the biggest. Honestly, Wind Ward's probably the biggest nerf. I think the Wind Ward nerf's pretty big. I wish they just nerfed Wind Ward though. Why did Wind Ward get removed? Guys, Final Rage's not in the game anymore. That got removed last patch. This Mirage thing is weird because did they remove Mirage or is support gem still in the game? Interesting. So essentially, I mean, this is how it works right now. We can use in-game to show. Mirage is in the game currently, but it calls Spirit. So what this essentially does, you get this for free. And +1 gem slot, I guess. So you get +1 gem slot and 60 Spirit for 2 ascendancy points. I guess that's okay. It's okay. It's kind of bad. Yeah. Oh no, it's different, isn't it? It's different. This is when you dodge roll. This is when you attack.
mean, this one's better then. I mean, you have 2 points because one's removed. So maybe just take this. Yeah, maybe this is better then. The Wind War nerf hurts the most, to be honest. 30% TR was so much. Contagious Contamination is removed. I guess I'll get PoE 2 up. So we can see the exact changes. Pathfinder. What was it? This one? Yeah. So the Poison Prolif got removed. You get this for 2 points now. Practical Remedies has been removed, which one was that? This one. This one was garbage. This thing was complete garbage. So now you get this thing for 2 points. This thing wasn't that good though. This thing was kind of garbage though, right? Run Assault now also grants cannot be heavy stunned while sprinting. Wait, what? You cannot be stunned while sprinting? Wait, guys, can we play Pathfinder? Okay, that's kind of nice. You just sprint. And a new path seeker multi-choice ascendancy's passive skills with the following choices. Path of the Warrior can allocate passives from the Warrior starter. Wait, oh dude, it's a Scion. Wait, Pathfinder. So you get Warrior, Sorceress. Oh, it's only Warrior and Sorceress? I mean, makes sense. Well, actually, I guess it's just the main notables. I mean, that is interesting. You also get 4 passive skill points. Traveler Wisdom now requires Path Seeker. Traveler's Wisdom now instead grants attribute passive skills offering additional options. 5% increased damage, global defense cost. Wait, that's so good. So instead of like 5 decks, you can choose 5% increased damage or global defense. Global defense is kind of good.
Bro, he says that's good. Everyone's like, what the fuck? Big, holy. Bro. Man.
But this is still shit though. This thing is worthless. They gotta change this.
Yeah, now they're gonna say it's shit. Yeah, he said this
is really bad. Amazon Elemental Surge has been reworked.
Come on, say it's shit.
Number 5 when you consume when you consume a charge, trigger Elemental Surge to gain 3 lightning surges. Okay. Never provides when you consume a charge, trigger Elemental Surge to instead gain 2 cold, lightning, and fire surges. It sounds like that's improved from before. This thing right here. I don't know. This thing got really gutted because they gutted charges last league, and charge generation is also have some like niche, unique interactions. really bad.
That's fucked up.
And the crit's still really bad. Ritualist. Oh yeah, also.
Anyway, boys, we got our fucking news. I'm gonna need to go because I didn't sleep from yesterday. I slept for like 1 hour. So hopefully we see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Big M, Mr. Paul, Mr. Tree, whoever on Twitch. I think that one on Twitch is me. But if there's anyone on Twitch, thank you all. Have a good night or a good day. See you guys.